Stop. Stop. Oh my god. I've never had all these issues at once. I'm so sorry. I thought we knocked all these out yesterday.
It says you're live?
And no, I'm live.
I'm not sure if you actually are.
It's gotta
Because it's like, hey,
fix
here's
the
an
signal.
advertisement. Alright,
There we go.
That looks much better.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we? If
So
it
that-
freezes again, please tell me because I didn't notice when it happened.
Sorry about that. Oh, they all noticed. They let me know.
Oh my
Larry
gosh.
says, I mean, I can send a retail unit.
If you feel like you want to do that, I can't make any promises, but I will gladly accept it.
That would be so. Could you guys actually? Never mind. I should. Never mind.
Oh man, I sure do wish the Xbox buttons were working. What's that?
That would be so cool.
I would love that.
Oh, AM2R on the Switch.
Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm gonna stop messing with stuff now. Let's actually start this.
Stop playing with my heart.
That was embarrassing. I am so sorry for that. This is why
You
I'm
know,
not a streamer. I don't do this very often.
Technically speaking, if the Switch runs a modified version of Android, and somebody makes an alternative firmware that can run Android apps, it could be possible to port it to the Switch, in theory.
Oh.
But I really have no idea what's inside that thing.
You hear that, homebrew community? Get on it. I want to see that. I'm not going to do it, but I want to see it. You like Samus's tiny hand?
When it froze, somebody said, who used the ice beam?
Oh, I don't have to touch the computer anymore. Hopefully we should be good. Yeah, I'm having some technical issues. I don't do this often. And there's no HUD. Oh no!
Doc, I just saw the well, this is unprofessional, I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. This is terrible. This is so bad. I gotta fix it.
What? What's the, communicate what?
Well, there's no HUD, and the dead zone is way too high. Oh jeez.
I think you did that so you could take screenshots.
I did. If I could just move left, that would be wonderful.
What, you want me to implement that feature?
Oh my gosh.
You actually need to move left?
No, no, no. Oh, this is terrible. This is so bad. Why is this happening?
So
Stop.
questions. If anybody has any questions. It's like an AMA.
Oh my god. It's so bad. Why is this happening? Oh no. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, it's going too fast. Ozkai 2015 says, trust us, professional streamers have this issue.
Why is this happening? Stop.
You guys want to know the worst? We spent about 4 hours yesterday just trying out everything that could possibly fail. And we did run into problems. We prepared this overlay for you guys to see the chat on the screen.
I will do it.
And
apparently.
yeah, it was supposed to be much smoother than what it is now.
Yeah, safe.
Keep talking to people.
Alright, would you like to pick some questions for me to answer, madam?
Yeah, they want to know about that, the little hand, the
little
artwork.
hand?
Yeah, on Samus.
I tried to fix it.
No, yeah, we had actually pointed that out. I was making fun of him a lot that week that he was working on it, and it was done and redone.
That's pretty much a rotoscope of a 3D model
Samus's
image.
baby hand.
And what we can see in this version is that it's a matter of perspective. You know,
Yeah.
her arms pretty much have a nice proportion that makes Samus look like a human being. That also means the proportion of her hands and her arms. But that doesn't seem to be a good angle to rotoscope and translate it into pixel art. Yeah, it ended up looking pretty weird.
Sometimes that happens. This is an armored maiden shirt. So it's got Samus on it.
Oops. There we go. Okay, this is actually working. We're gonna do this.
Do you see what Jack wrote?
No, what did he say?
I'm so glad I'm not the only one that noticed the T-Rex arm. I pointed it out to Steve and he was like, I did not want to keep changing and changing it.
I tried to fix it. I did, I promise.
Ah!
Okay. I'm just using an Xbox One controller. I'm not fooling around with that business anymore. So, no more issues.
Mizuno Wave Rider says, do you play your own games so rarely?
I took a long break from it because for a long time all I was doing was beta testing every day. I got real tired of it.
Ah, yes, playing the game over and over and over is pretty tiresome. You kind of get tired of it. I actually get to play little bits of it when I actually testing or developing something. So I should someday play it relaxed at my own pace and experience the whole thing, and not just focus on testing or diagnosing some bug. I should do it sometime.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Don't say it, you're gonna jinx it.
Shut up.
Not a good, so.
Alright, I'm not used to playing with an Xbox controller, so bear with me if I make some mistakes. What are you doing? 2021. Remind me then, and I'll get back to you. And I'll tell you where we're at. Promise.
Alright. There's a little bit of trivia that people might not know about the landing site.
Let's go back there.
Alright. Sorry if I'm not really in sync. It takes about 14 seconds for me to actually see where you are. But actually, the landing site, that entire room, is one huge size parking puzzle. There was supposed to be some really well hidden secret, pretty much like that very hidden room in Confrontation, that was going to be accessible from the landing site. But it was going to be very cryptic and hard to find. So by the time I actually got to finish the game, I already was making the GFS thought as a nice hidden area. So it was going to be becoming redundant, and the entire design of that place relies on you not being able to shine spark or the speed boost on that entire place. So all the tiles on the floor have pretty much the distance needed to stop you from speed boosting. So that was until I had to pretty much rework the entire speed booster, and the distance was shortened. So that pretty much rendered the entire layout obsolete. Now you can actually shine spark from this particular place if you want to. So that's why there's so many bumps and ramps and small edges on the floor. But you can get to see a nice small tunnel in the middle of that mountain, and that's part of the puzzle. That's a part of the tunnel that you actually need to shine spark through to start the puzzle, and then you need to make some precise shine sparks throughout the place. If you want, do you have the dev tools in Elisa?
I do.
Right. Can you teleport Samus to the middle of the mountain?
Yes.
Alright.
Let me grab the mouse. Oh, jeez, where did I put it? I can't see the cursor for whatever reason. I think it was hidden in this particular version.
Yes. Maybe it's a release candidate or something.
Here we go. Yeah, this little area.
So there were supposed to be blocks on the both ends of that passage. So you would pretty much zoom to this place towards the left side, and there's pretty much a ramp on the left side where you actually store your spark. And if you go to the left wall of the entire room and upwards, you're going to seeing some weird repeating tiles that look a little bit out of place.
Where are those at?
Upper left corner of the entire room.
These ones here? Oh wait.
Do you see 3 tiles that are pretty much the same?
The ones that I'm standing on?
Yeah.
Oh right, 14-second delay.
Yes, there's 3 tiles down there. In that particular place, that's where you need to shine spark diagonally from the bottom right corner. So it was a series of shine sparks that were designed to be done in a very specific order. It was pretty challenging to get right. And in the end, you were actually supposed to go to the upper right corner of the entire room. And there's a tiny one block passage that you need to bolt spark into. And that will lead you to some crazy, very well-hidden room. I hadn't decided what that secret was, but I know.
Wasn't it going to be Hemsey related?
Yes, I did promise that to Mr. Hemsey, but unfortunately I wasn't able to deliver my promise.
It wasn't your fault. Just gonna dev out of here. Alright.
Let me know when you're ready for another question.
Yeah, let's do another question.
This one is for Doc. What do you think were the flaws of the original Metroid 2?
I don't see the stuff that's not that good in Metroid 2 as flaws. It's more like design limitations. There's a little bit of a hardware limitation, mostly regarding storage space on RAM. But it's really awesome that they were able to pull off such an expansive world with so little map data.
Would you call it a work in progress?
What's up?
Would you call it a work in progress?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the technology they had at the time to work on that. And actually, the map layout in Metroid 2 is fairly ingeniously done. There are room setups that are of a certain size, and by flipping certain bytes, you can actually trigger variations on that same room. And the entire map is made with placing those room setups throughout the map. And even then, they actually managed to do some pretty distinct landmarks. So it's a very nice design, given the limited hardware they had. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to pull that off with those limitations.
Yeah, they did a good job for what they had available.
Doc, do you think giving Samus too much versatility can be problematic since it makes her too OP?
One thing is making her very mobile, and yeah, she ends up being extremely OP, but by that time you pretty much have conquered many other challenges. RFI was pretty much designed to give the player, even with all the tools they have at their disposal, both mobility and defense and attack, a little bit of a challenge. So the main enemy there on RFI is pretty much an encouragement to just avoid it. Otherwise, that bullet hell is very likely to get you in trouble, even if you have many E-tanks. But we're gonna talk about that when we reach RFI, I guess.
We'll be there in not too long. My average time through this game is about 2.5 hours, but that's just me running through it normally and using a controller that I'm actually familiar with. Using this for AM2R is a little strange. So I usually use the Wii U Pro controller, but today it's just being problematic, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah, a lot of people were recommending you use the Xbox controller.
Yep, so that's what I'm doing now.
Does this have the updated music from OST?
I believe it does.
think so, yes, and I think it already has the music variations on the Wii.
Oh, does it?
I think so, yes.
Nice. Is the music coming through the stream okay? Can people actually hear it? I'll wait the 14 seconds.
I will let you know as soon as I get an answer to that. At what point did you decide that there should be more than one gamma and alpha sprite?
Oh, very early. It was a pretty ambitious thing, and I actually did ask the sprite artist that created the Metroids if he could actually make the variations, just to make every Metroid a little bit distinct. Alphas were the easiest to implement, but by the time I actually started with the gammas, there were so few in the game compared to alphas that they felt a little bit unnecessary. Players were very likely to not notice the small variations.
What would you change about AM2R if you had the ability?
I would like it to be freely distributed without without legal limitations. That would be my main change. But yeah, there's a lot of small things that were much postponed and pretty much rebalancing the Omegas. I went a little bit too far and actually nerfed the difficulty for 1.1. It needed a little bit more of a couple more revisions, and that entire first sequence with the first Omega, there's quite a distance from the latest save point. So if the player screws up, it's a very tedious. You have to work quite a lot to actually go back to the challenge. So yes, a little bit of a spacing with this particular save slot, and some minor tweaks here and there. I'm pretty satisfied with it, and at some point I would have liked to just let some other contributors to continue submitting original stuff, so I could actually make the entire game custom made instead of relying on Cinematic art.
That was definitely something that we wanted to do, was replace all of the old recycled art assets and have everything completely original.
Yeah, so this particular place is the most blatant one, but yes, it would have been awesome.
I think the best examples of what the final game would have looked like with everything the way we wanted it was in areas 4 and 5. And actually the I think it's called the genetics lab, where the Metroids are at, in the final area. So that was another custom area, and that one had like 98% custom stuff in it. I think the only thing that wasn't custom was a background that we borrowed from it was like a shoot 'em up game for some cell phone game from like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one is going to notice it. But yes, it was nice to actually make original content. It's really time consuming, but being able to see a unique environment that's never been seen before is really awesome, and I wanted to translate that to the rest of the game.
That would have been nice. I wish that we had the opportunity to have a one-time pass. Like, do everything you need to do, make that your last release, be done with it. But I don't expect that. Any other questions?
Yes, let me get back to the
Okay.
It's going pretty fast, sorry.
That's cool.
We have it's Sega San Giro in the chat.
Who?
Sega San Giro.
Cigars and Cheetos?
No, Metroid 30s. You remember the Sega San Giro thingy?
I'm processing it, but it's not ringing a bell. I'm so sorry. Let me see.
We have a celebrity in the audience.
Yeah, where? Who? Can you show me so I can read it?
The guy that says you must play Sega Saturn.
Oh! Oh, jeez.
Alright. Sorry. How difficult, somebody says, I'm curious how difficult it was to maintain the code across GM6, 7, and 8, and Studio.
From 6 to 7, it was pretty nice, a pretty nice transition. There was just a couple of functions. Between 7 and 8, it was might be annoying. There were many things I had to rewrite, but I was actually able to work with surfaces at least. And from 8 to Studio was a fucking pain in the ass.
I remember that. There was a lot of issues.
Yes, it was about 2 months of just fixing broken things and rewriting horrible code into something that's actually readable. So yes, the Game Maker Studio changed way too much, but it did enable the multi-platform exporting, so it was a nice trade-off after all, and the game became much better performance-wise.
Yeah, dude, it starts up a lot faster too. There's almost no splash screen.
Yes, Confrontation was a nice engine, but it was a little bit heavy. It wasn't optimized at all.
Was there any point in time in which you felt like not finishing the project, just dropping it?
Well, the question would be how many times per year you feel that you're not going to be finishing this? Way too many. It's really doubtful. It's sometimes it's really difficult to just open up Game Maker and realizing that you're not going to be finishing this game today or tomorrow or next month. You're just making a little bit of progress on something that may be cancelled and nobody's going to be playing anymore anyways. So sometimes it felt helpless, you know, like I was wasting my time. But I kept pushing on and I made it so whatever I was doing, it was either fun or I was actually learning to do something cool that I didn't know before.
Yeah, there was definitely a couple days just before release that we were really worried that we weren't going to make it. I think it was Hornode who didn't get his custom sprites until less than 12 hours before we went live.
Yes, pretty much the last week was chaotic. We made a lot of stuff that we hadn't done.
We both took that last week off from our normal jobs so we could finish this thing up in time.
Yes, please don't tell my boss.
I don't think your boss is going to watch this, is he?
Certainly not.
Okay, then no worries. I don't know your boss, so we should be okay. But I told my boss exactly what I was doing and why I was taking that time off. That's my personal time, so they didn't give me any lip about it.
Awesome.
Doc, you said that the Metroid Queen is your favorite boss. Is that still the case, and why? And were there any other plans to expand the Queen fight?
Alright, so the Queen was pretty interesting to make. It was the first time I actually delved into inverse kinematics, you know, the feet of the creature interacting with the environment, and actually making that the four legs actually follow the ground and look good, all the parts of the legs and stuff. It was a nice challenge, and it had its separate project, and overall I do like the dynamics of that fight. I was going to be adding a new attack on one of the faces to make it a little less monotonous, and I was making the all the faces be a little bit shorter so it doesn't drag too much. But other than that, I found it to be it's my favorite. I was going to be adding even more ways to finish her off on the final sequence, but yes, what got out on the release is functional, and I could say it's my favorite fight. It has the potential of being much more awesome, but I do like it. In the second place would be the tester. That's I had a lot of fun doing that.
I really appreciate the way the queen walks and moves towards Samus through each room.
Yeah.
Her locomotion looks really cool.
Yes, but the player is so desperate at that time that they don't realize how much detail there is in the animation. But that's okay. At least it doesn't look out of place or distracting. The player can be panicked and concentrate on moving and surviving.
Absolutely. And if you try to run away from her, she speeds up. That's really fun to watch too.
Yeah, it's a little goofy.
This question is from Larry, and I think this is to you, Steve.
Oops.
How did you land on this look for the spider ball rather than the original's more organic slime membrane look?
We took a lot of inspiration from Metroid Prime on that front. Oh geez, I don't remember all the moves this thing has. Okay. But the slime, it looked goofy. But the way that Metroid Prime did it, it was really nice and pristine, and they had a pretty good idea on what it should look like versus what it used to look like. And we didn't, oops. Oh geez. We didn't 100% copy everything that was in Metroid 2. We took styles from the different games, including I think the most inspiration that we got was from the original Metroid 2, but also from Super Metroid and a little bit of Prime. We didn't want to take too many ideas from Prime because as much as I enjoy the Prime games, their art style doesn't translate very well to 2D. It's very high-tech and detailed, and when you try to take all that, yeah, when you try to scale that down onto a portable screen, it doesn't come across looking very well. I think even Metroid Prime Hunters is a good example of this. It's because they tried to pack in a lot of that detail, but the art style, there was something off about it. It looked like Quake. And Quake is fun, but it didn't look like Metroid in my opinion. What are you laughing about?
Ozkai 2015 says, although I know you'll never admit to it, but how does it feel to be practically celebrities in the eyes of the majority of Metroid fans? Your voice is occasionally pretty echoey, Doc. Is that just the microphone, or you just have that much power now?
Might be something related to your setup, possibly.
Okay. I mean, being a celebrity.
Oh, no, I certainly don't feel like one. Maybe I'm just a humble guy that enjoys making games in his free time, and that's about it. I do enjoy the recognition, and I am humbled to see very awesome people enjoying the game, even from the casual player, the Metroid fan, the YouTubers, the developers. So it makes those hard moments that I actually felt I was wasting my time be validated, you know. And it's nice. I really don't I don't have the attitude of just being this arrogant asshole that sometimes people become. I could easily become a rock star of sorts and be a dick, but I'm just a simple guy. and that's it. I focus on whatever is next, and whatever I have learned to apply that into something even more awesome.
I'm gonna take a second to apologize for my poor gameplay. I'm very rusty. I haven't played in a little while.
Should have played last night.
I should have, but I was very
No,
busy.
you're trying to play Sonic. Sonic
Yeah.
4.
Oh no, we were playing SA2R. That was we were just gonna do
yes,
that.
that's right. That's right.
Maybe I should have just played Sonic Generations, huh?
Oh, since we're at a save station.
What's that?
Doc, why did you decide to give save stations the ability to reload your health and ammo? Wouldn't you say that takes away a bit of the challenge?
It certainly does, but
If you want a challenge, play on hard mode.
that too. But it actually gives you a nice reference of what the player is going to be like. So in between saves, you know that you can throw a certain amount of challenge. So pretty much the main priority for the player should be finding the next save, or in the worst case scenario, they have a reference point to where they need to escape when they are overrun by Metroids and you run out of missiles. So it was easier for the player to visualize in their mind what the safe spot is. If I were to make recharge stations for both missiles and energy, there will be another resource that the player needs to remember, and it might be a little bit distracting. You know, they would have their particular marker in the map, and if they were not on the same place, you pretty much need to do even more backtracking. So being overrun by Metroids, running out of missiles, or being low on energy, having to run away, that tedious running away is it's a lot simpler if you only need to go to that particular place in the map that you already know that's safe, and that's it. It simplifies and lets you control the flow of the level a little bit more. If you complicate it with separate elements, you have to you need to have a very good reason to do so. I wasn't fond of that particular mechanic in Metroid 2, but that's how things were back then.
Why do the vines and lava do so little damage?
I think they actually got a pretty severe buff in this particular version, or at least that was something that was in the works.
Yes, it was in the plans to be improved a little bit, but the vines are more of a psychological pressure in the middle of the fight. You do realize that they do damage, but it's not something that should kill you. It would be very frustrating if you just miss a jump, fall into the vines, and get killed by the vines instead of the Metroid. The Metroids are supposed to be the priority, the main threat. So it entices you to just keep your foothold high, but not enough for it to be a threat. It's mostly psychological. In the end, in most cases, the player realizes that it's actually cheaper to just stay in the vines and avoid the actual hard-hitting Metroids. But yes, we were going to be revising that also.
Don't worry about it now. Let him open the door for that.
Okay. Saber, you left the missile back in the crumble block puzzle room. Here.
Did I?
I haven't been paying any attention to the actual gameplay.
Oh, I think I. Oh, I did. Crap. All right, I'll get that on the way out of Area 2.
I got a missile.
I did. I'm sorry. It's been a while.
Hey Doc, out of all the reviews of AM2R online, which one best encapsulates what the game is as a whole?
Well, the one that really I really liked was the one that made about the geek critique.
Oh yes.
Geek critique.
Yeah, it's almost an hour and goes in detail with pretty much every area, every major boss, everything.
I still like Dookie Shed's old review from...
Yes, that was awesome also.
Yes, there was so much energy, I loved it.
Yes, a little bit Egoraptor-ish, but it was
I
very
like
entertaining.
Egoraptor.
So, yes, I really do like the reviews that mention the details that one takes time to do. It really makes it worth it, you know. I'm pretty sure many people realize all the small things here and there, but actually see a reviewer take the time to mention that is really awesome too.
I appreciate that he got weirded out by all the gross stuff that happens with the Metroids. So you got weirded out by that too the first time we showed it to you.
Yeah.
You got an audible ooh out of it.
Why is the Queen Metroid's regular death animation so poor compared to the epic death animation when you use a power bomb? Was it time constraints or was it another reason?
That was definitely time constraints.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was improved a little bit on 1.1, but yes.
Oh, on 1. What now?
On the update 1.1, the death, the normal death is a little bit ridiculous, but not as much as it was in 1.0. But yes, there were plans to make it a little bit more epic. I just focused on the power bomb one, the one that was the most cinematic.
Yeah, the power bomb one was really cool. The first time I saw that, you said to just use a power bomb. I said okay.
The Chaos Demon asks, was power bomb spamming the real reason for the removal of power bomb drops?
Yep, that's about it. In this case, if you have the white beam, just shooting anywhere would reveal the blocks of pretty much everything that's hidden around. And spamming power bombs was something that I wanted to avoid. Just another tool to deal with plenty of enemies, or just a way to quickly explore some suspicious places. Then again, the time the player spends between saves isn't that much, and as long as you have a safe spot nearby, you can use them fairly frequently. But I did find that many people forget that they do have power bombs.
I'm not used to power bombs actually doing damage to bosses either. That is pretty new for me.
Doc, what did you think of Other M's take on the Queen?
It was a nice...
that bitch looked like Reptar. I'm sorry. It needs to be said, yes!
It has a nice dynamic. The spawning Metroids are a little bit annoying.
Yeah,
especially with all the first person switching and stuff, but it was cinematic. I did like it. I felt the scale to be intimidating, so it really felt like it was fucking awesome. And it certainly did affect the scale and how the fight felt for AM2R 2. If there wasn't any other end, maybe my team would be pretty different.
Oh man, come on dude, just... Oh my gosh. Oh, I hate this thing. Why are they so fast? Stop! Okay. Alright, just... Nobody saw that. That wasn't embarrassing.
Nope, nobody saw a thing.
Oh no, wait, I need to get this first. Am I missing anything?
Doc, with the slight reference to Dark Samus when getting the gravity suit,
here we go.
Did you ever think of allowing the player to select Samus, Dark Samus, or even creating a Silux character for a New Game Plus if possible?
Yes, New Game Plus was going to be my canvas to do the stuff I couldn't do because this is a remake. So, New Game Plus was going to be featuring beam combos, maybe new beams, weapons, and maybe some sort of grenade launcher, and some other ways of dealing damage to the Metroid that it's not just missiles. And with that, I was actually considering either the ability to customize Samus or just make other suits. But that was going to be something that was going to be done on the long run. There's way too many sprites involved in the creation of a suit. and every variation of that, varia, power, whatever, pretty much takes an entire sprite set. It's way too many sprites. So
Before, we were going to do it with a shader.
it was done with a shader, but it turned out to be not compatible in certain systems.
It was AMD graphics cards that had issues with it.
Actually, it was an issue with DirectX. Later, it was found out that in certain systems there's an older version of DirectX that's not installed. There's certain redistributors for the C++ library that are required by that particular shader, and most systems do have it, some do not. And yes, by the time I figured that out, I had already replaced all the sprites with the Gravity suit. So yeah, maybe recalling the suit with the shader would be a feature in the future.
If that had worked, players would be able to make their Phazon suit like they kept asking for.
Certainly.
We heard you.
If the charge combos had made it into a future update, what in general would they do, and where in general would they be found?
Well, I hadn't decided that. I was going to be planning a little bit of an alternative order for the items. So, traversing through the different areas would be based on how much would you like to risk in order to get a certain specific item. For example, if you do the normal order of the areas, you would have a nice difficulty ramp that's pretty much similar to the normal game. And if you wanted to venture into the Omega Minotaurs there, you would be getting something a little bit more powerful and useful. But it's a lot more risky, a little bit of risk versus reward thingy going on. So pretty much you get a beam, and if you have missiles or power bombs or whatever, you would be able to pull those combos off. Now, balancing all the combinations would be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it would be fun. Experiment with.
This is a question for both of you.
Oh?
What other
Alright.
Metroidvanias do you look forward to?
Well, before Axiom Verge was released, I was really looking forward to that one. And then after it was released, I was really looking forward to that one. And then I played it, and I really enjoyed it.
I certainly want to see what Ghost Song is about. It certainly looks awesome.
That does look really cool.
Yeah. Bloodstained. Prisoner of the Night. That's that Igarashi seems to be still awesome.
I haven't been keeping close tabs on Bloodstained. It looks interesting. I'm a big fan of the Castlevania games, or at least the older ones, that before they went full 3D. I'm not talking about the Nintendo 64 games. I'm talking after, like pre. What was that one? It was Mask of Shadows or something goofy like that, or Lords of Shadow. That's what it was. I played that one, and it didn't feel like Castlevania to me. It felt like God of War, which I like God of War, but God of War isn't Castlevania, and that's kind of what bugged me about it.
Beyond Human is also pretty nice looking.
Oh yeah, it is. The combat actually looks really fun in that one. I'm looking forward to giving that one a shot.
Certainly.
How do you do that triangle bomb drop?
Ooh, this? Oh, not that. This one. Hang on. No, that one. Yeah. You do it the same way that you do the line bombs, where you hold down and then with a full charge in Morphball mode. I need to actually fight this thing. Come here. How did I do this before? I had a way of cheesing this one. I don't remember it.
Doc, was it intentional that the Zeta, and especially Omega, can corner you?
Yes, I guess. No, I mean, Cephas have just an attack that's just the acid, and if you do have space jump, which is very likely, you just float in the corner and just wait for it to go back. As Omegas were a pain in the ass to actually balance, especially because we were pretty close to the deadline when we were finishing up the AI for that. But Omegas needed a little bit of an overhaul. The one that got into
This is another one
the
for
final
you.
release was a little bit cheap.
Yeah, they have a really bad habit of knocking you out of the rooms, and the only way I could think to avoid that from happening was to either put doors in the rooms or have the player drop into them.
Certainly.
Although, yeah,
And
maybe we should have put some doors in there. Because when you get knocked out of the room, their health resets.
yeah, that's so annoying.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? No, you can't dash backwards! What are you doing? I think that's the first time I've seen that.
Did you have any coding knowledge before tackling AM2R, or did you go in blind?
I did know a little bit of scripting in other languages, but learning GML was pretty much my first real proper language. Eventually, during the course of AM2R, I did end up learning both Java, JavaScript, and C#, and pretty much the overall syntax and basic logics are very similar. So most of the stuff I had to do for my very first programming jobs felt very simple compared to managing the states of a game that's running at 60 frames per second. So it was a nice way of getting into programming. Game development is pretty particular regarding programming. It's fairly challenging sometimes in some aspects.
What was your question, Cheryl? Because you had one before.
Yeah, this one's a little beyond me because I'm not very technological like you guys.
Okay, so...
Doc, how do you design invisible walls correctly and place bombable blocks without being cheap or frustrating to the player?
Invisible walls?
I think he means like hidden areas where you have walls that you can actually walk behind.
Those. I did try to make them not as cryptic and insanely hidden as they are in the original Metroid and Super Metroid. But
I feel like I'm missing one.
for the most part, if you get to see the location of the item on the map, that's the only instance where the player is going to be bombing the floor and the ceilings and stuff. So I try to pretty much reward the overall exploration, but not to make it way too tedious, just to find the exact tile where the bomb is. So far I did try to make it more or less streamlined and not overly cryptic. There are a couple of power-ups that are hidden the Metroid way, but yeah, for the most part, just knowing that there is an item around and taking the time to find it. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. And you eventually get the power bomb, so if you feel that there's something hidden around, just play one and you'll get to see it eventually.
You are being a pest. What are you
Elementalism,
doing?
that's Jack, right?
Yeah.
He says, fun fact, the sound effects I recommended to Doc for the mutation sound is pumpkin guts being squished. That makes a lot more sense now. That was a great sound effect. That was
yes.
gross. That was so nasty.
So every time you see a mutation going on the screen, just think of pumpkin.
That was so gross.
On a related note, the sound effect for the very first Metroid you see when it breaks out of the shell, that was a combination of slapping the table and smushing tomatoes. And also smashing tomatoes onto the table.
Yes.
I think there was some celery snapping involved too.
I can't see the first Metroid with the same eyes. No. Suddenly it's not threatening.
No, all you see are tomatoes.
Why did you choose to use red eyes for the Metroids like Fusion, rather than blue like the concept art for Metroid 2?
That it didn't feel like that menacing. It felt, at least the color palette that we did try the first couple of times, it didn't feel threatening. You know, it felt like it was either a cyborg or some weird mutant. It didn't feel like a vicious monster that lives in this particular environment. Also, the plans at that time were to, whatever the lighting energy was going to be, to allow the player to see just the glowing eyes in the darkness. In that context, having red eyes following you was a little bit more menacing than blue eyes. Also, for the general public, red pretty much means evil. So, and
Yeah,
we did try
it
red,
just
and
looks meaner.
it looked good.
Were there any special considerations you had to take for speedrunners?
Way
There were
too many.
You kept the speedrunners in mind through pretty much every room.
Yep, and speedrunners were part of the testing team starting at demo 1.2, if I recall correctly. There was Dragon Dark, there was what was this guy's name? Grippos,
Natiska.
Latisa, he's here in the chat.
He's in the Discord too.
Yeah, these guys did contribute a lot. They made suggestions. I actually sat down and saw the runs of the demos and just wrote down the places where things could be optimized, where shortcuts, speedmaster shortcuts could be placed, just to make the entire run a little bit pleasant. You know, there's plenty of backtracking, and if you just move a couple of blocks around, you actually enable the player to potentially do some awesome tricks. So
There was
yes.
one in particular that we had that was in I think it was what area was that in? Oh, it was in the mines, the cordite mines.
Yes.
And there was a down at the bottom of the what's that spot called? There's this big long room that you can shine spark through, and if you can keep your spark through the whole thing and get all the way to the bottom and go to a morph ball and shine spark off to the right, you can actually land inside of the drill machine. Yeah. And it wasn't originally that way. The drill was.
I had to modify the edges.
Yeah, because I was trying to do that during some of the testing phases. Oh, this fight is gonna be a bitch. My diagonal dead zones are kind of messed up. They're a little too sensitive. I think that's another thing that we wanted to put in the updates, was the ability to adjust your diagonal dead zone as well.
Doc, at what point during Area 5's development did you decide to add Ceres as the area's boss?
I pretty much ran out of ideas about making efficient bosses that didn't take way too much development time, and it was an easy pick. It was correct within the canon to just feature another feature from SRT-88, and making that mechanic was a little bit troublesome, programming-wise, but it was really easier than just making another complex robotic boss. I actually needed something a little bit more organic to just break with all the technological motifs we have going on, and a huge creature would require many moving parts. I had quite a lot of difficulty getting the queen to look right. So yes, it was the cheapest option, but it ended up being looking good. It could be a little bit more challenging, but yes, it ended up being a nice little fun fight.
Something I would like to point out during this fight, this was an AI change that you made, where a lot of people were having trouble with this particular fight during the beginning. I think some of the demos, it was really tough for a lot of people.
Oh, yes,
So,
we can do them.
you changed the AI so that he wouldn't attack you until he took a certain amount of damage.
Yeah, this guy has 3 particular cycles, and each cycle is denotated by the diving bomb attack where he zips through the screen. And before you get to trigger the first one, up to a certain damage, he just hovers around without following you. That gives you a little bit of time to just getting used to the space jump, and by the time you get to land some hits, you pretty much are ready to fight it on. That period wasn't there before, and the guy just followed you relentlessly from the get-go. It was very frustrating for normal players.
Originally, he wasn't supposed to be in that room. You would get the the space jump there, but you wouldn't get you wouldn't actually fight him until about halfway through Area 4 in the temple, like in the middle of it.
Pretty much. He was going to guard just an energy tank or something. I can't remember. But yes, we did mess around with the placement of Toriso a couple of times, and I think there was just one test rush, one build when you get to fight him in a different place, and that it wasn't. It didn't make sense. It didn't feel right.
He wasn't blocking anything, and there was no reason to go in there and fight him with the way it was set up.
Yes, the level layout was already long, so it didn't feel natural.
I didn't get to this question until like way later, sorry.
What question?
It was from Metroid 3D. Question for Saber/Cheryl. Can you pet the kitty?
Oh, no, she's not in front of me anymore.
Oh, she will be.
She's a pest. She'll be
tried
back.
to burrow under the blanket that's over the couch here. Oh, sorry. And then was like...
You might see her under the blankets at some point.
Yeah, she'll run back and forth underneath the blankets and try to attack us through the fabric. She's a cute.
She's still a kitten, and we love her very much. But she's a pest.
Why was the decision made to not have a warning beep noise for Samus when she is under 30 health like other Metroid titles?
I found it particularly annoying. I was going to get options for that. Actually, if you open up the configuration file, there's an option that says low health notification style or something, and
really?
it was going to be configurable. You could be choosing between just flashing the number. I think I was going to be flashing Samus at some point, and the beeping noise. You could choose between the options.
I don't think I saw that option.
No, I think it never got it into the options menu either. It was going to be part of an update. Just give the options to the player to experience it even more like Super Metroid or Zero Mission, if they are inclined to do so. But just having the numbers flashing was the most discreet way and less annoying way.
Any others?
What was your favorite YouTube Let's Play of AM2R?
Ooh.
That's a tough one. There's a lot to choose from.
Really?
And I'm pretty sure that Judy was watching here, so this is quite a compromise.
Don't worry about it.
I did enjoy tuning in into the Jared stream.
Who's stream?
Jared.
Oh, Pro Jared.
Jared.
He said everybody's name but mine.
You have a special
Yes!
reason, I think.
I was very hurt. I worked very hard on what I did. I wanted recognition, damn it.
You got that long last name with a mouthful.
Yeah.
Just gonna breeze over that one.
That's okay.
Don't worry.
Oh, sorry.
People misspell and mispronounce my name all the time. So
You know what? Now, since we're on that, how do you pronounce your full name? Let's clear that up.
Milton Westy.
See, even I kept pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah,
I kept pronouncing that G.
Oh. Yeah, it's Italian. So.
Well, now we know that you're Italian, even though you live in Argentina.
My grandma is Italian, so the last name comes from that.
Now I'm learning new things about you every day.
Pretty much 1/3 of the population here in Argentina comes from Italy and Spain. So it's very common to see people with Italian and Spanish last names. And pretty much half of the population here in my neighborhood speaks Italian. So.
I had no idea.
Yes, it's full of people that think they can talk Italian because they actually hear it every day, but that's not the case.
This has been the most interesting Dr. M64 AMA I think I've been a part of.
Yes, all our other conversations are really boring.
Well, Steve, I have a question for you.
Really?
What is your favorite Metroid?
Mine? Oh, man. Oh, jeez. You know, I'm biased. But as far as controls go, AM2R is my favorite. It feels the most fluid out of all the games. But if I was to remove my bias and take AM2R out of the pool, since it's not an official game.
See, that's how you know you're a true fan.
You know what? I started with Fusion. It's not. It's a little more linear and it doesn't have the same kind of Metroidvania feel, but it's certainly up there. But I think my all-time favorite would have to be Super. I like the Prime games. Don't get me wrong, but they're not my favorites. My favorite games are all the classic ones, the 2Ds, the side-scrollers. What? What's funny?
Hey cat, catch the birdie, earn your keep.
Right. She doesn't even get the spiders.
Here's a good one. Doc. The last area, the laboratory, had a log entry that says the Chozo were doing experiments to the Metroids, similar to the way the pirates experimented with them. Was that your idea, or was that already a part of Metroid 2?
I think that was...
I'm not sure if that's the case. The logo actually mentions the cryogenic equipment was used to manipulate DNA, and that's it. Actually, we were very careful to just expose what Samus could have known by that time, or to have not known. And the fact that the Chozo did create the method was not something that was in Samus' knowledge at that point in the timeline. So all that we could do is describe the environment and what things could be done in that particular place without giving out way too much information. We see cryogenic capsules, we see DNA manipulation thingies, and that's about it. It's a description of a place that could have been used to create methods, and that's it. We did leave it a little bit open to interpretation, but people that have read the manga and now know how the story goes can figure out what the place actually was used for.
Oops. I'm gonna do this, damn it.
You got it. Doc, did you at first decide to go with Metroid 2's version of the Zeta and Omega in their flying form, or did you want to ground them from the beginning? Why did you decide to do so? Gameplay reasons, design reasons?
Yes, having all the Metroids being air-based was a little bit redundant. By the time you get to see the first Zeta, you have already fought way too many Alphas. And having yet another frame enemy that would be a little bit more annoying and even harder to hit would be a little bit redundant. Both the Spider Artist and me have already seen some concept art. I think it was in Metal Galaxy that depicted these two evolutions as bipedal, and they actually look awesome with features resembling a raptor and a T-Rex. And we went for that kind of build for this particular version. Even the very first version of the Zeta Metroid looks very similar to that concept art, including the mouth. The entire mouth is very different. It looks like a natural mammal, like it has a conventional jaw instead of the strange mouth that it has now. So yeah, it was pretty much from the beginning. I wanted a little bit of variety.
Doc, what is your favorite Metroid?
Metroid the game or Metroid the Beast?
Ooh, gonna have to get specific. My,
Semantics.
hang on, how do you do it? ¿Por qué no los dos? I have a terrible accent. I am so sorry.
It's it's better than my English.
I beg to differ.
I don't believe that for a second.
You have very good English. Get over it.
What's your favorite Metroid game?
It would be a tie between Super Metroid and the first Prime.
That seems to be where most people are at.
Yeah, I do enjoy a lot of the expansive way of exploring the 2D way. You know, having the mobility of Samus, even if it's a little bit clunky and floaty, being able to move with such freedom feels really awesome. And Prime has a little bit of a special place, you know, being able to actually expand the universe and just be able to explore at your own pace. That felt very unique. Certainly the Metro universe and any sci-fi franchise that has a nice and complex story does benefit a lot of having 3D environments.
Any others?
Not sure I'm understanding this question. Could you talk a bit about the development of the distribution center? I heard it changed a lot in development.
Area 5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that certainly did change quite a lot.
Yeah.
Tell you what, would you like to play an old build with the old layout so we can show the people how it looked like?
I think only half of the rooms were actually visible. Everything was just black blocks.
There were places that were fully tiled, and only the exterior parts were black. The other parts where the water was. But we could show the overall layout to the people if you want.
Yeah, we could do that. I think I still have the old test version with the rocket jump too.
Really?
Yeah.
If you
I only
don't
stuck
have
around
it,
for one test version.
if you don't have it, I can search it real quick.
Yeah.
So, alright. I'll take a couple of minutes and I'll go through my archives and find this find a build that has that area, and I have the DevTools enabled for you to explore. Alright?
That would be awesome.
Sweet.
Alright, I'll take a couple of minutes, huh?
Oh, I do have one more idea.
Okay.
You can say no to this one if you want. You remember we were being interviewed by one of the websites. I think it was Vice, and they wanted comparison screenshots of the alpha versus the final product.
Uh-huh.
Did you want to maybe show off that particular version to see how far the game came in 10 years?
I could try finding the earliest build I have of the game and see if you can spot any differences.
That could be fun.
Or completely boring.
I know that there's almost no enemies.
Yeah.
I think there's some rooms that transitions that aren't there.
In any case, I'll go get that particular version. I'll be right back, sir.
Okay. See if there's any questions that we can answer on here. Oh, geez, I screwed that up. Oh, this is bad.
Not
Oh my
a
gosh.
question.
What's the comment?
Mizuno Wave Rider says, "Whoever did those Zeta and Omega designs, you are a great designer.
That was Ramiro Negri.
They are 2D sprites and they look intimidating as fuck." Great stuff.
If I could just.
You guys had a good team.
We definitely did our best. We had some good people that worked with us. What else?
I appreciate that you combined the Shine Spark of Zero mission and Super. I'm not sure if you would know this without Doc being here.
I might.
I have a question from a speedrunner's point of view. What made y'all decide to put rocks in the way of progressing beyond where you're supposed to, in addition to the lava?
I think the biggest reasoning for that one was essentially breaking the game at its most basic core formula. Is we didn't have a we were gonna save being able to remove those for New Game Plus, where there wouldn't be any lava. That would just be completely removed, so the player could go through and take out all the Metroids in whatever order they wanted. Mm-hmm. Because in order to get to the Queen, you would still need to fight, or you'd still need to kill all the other Metroids before getting there.
Hi. I just heard the question. I can reply that if you want to.
Yeah. Could you give a better answer for that one? Because I don't have a good answer. That was
yes,
the best I got.
Yes, it's tied to the way that the Metroids are being tracked. Every Metroid has a particular ID. So the way that the game is set up, the lava level changes by checking if a certain ID of certain Metroids are active or not. So if we check for the first Metroid, he has the ID number 0. And every time we check for the area, if it is clear, we check for the very first index. And if this guy is dead, then we know that the lava level is going to be changing. So in order to check for certain levels of lava in a very progressive way, we check indexes. So in the first area we have 3 Metroids, we have Metroids 1, 2 and 3, and those IDs are pretty much fixed. And since these are indexes instead of quantities, we don't check for certain quantities. We don't check if there is 4 Metroids that just died. We check for certain entities in the game, and that way, if we have a couple of places to choose from, where we can find the different numbers of Metroids, we don't have the ability with the color system to change the lava level depending on amounts. So if I were to skip to the last couple of Omegas and kill some of them, it would trigger the lava level conditions for it to pretty much disappear from the entire planet. So it was a little bit problematic to like. So I actually left the Hunter mode, this new Game Plus thingy, as a nice alternative to give the player a little bit more freedom and just ditch all those mandatory roadblocks.
I do not like using the Xbox controller for this. This is driving me nuts. I am not this bad at the game. There's false advertising. I have witnesses.
In the original game, the Metroid counter never registers the baby, so it remains at 0 after killing the Queen. In AM2R, it never registers the Queen, but does register the baby, so it ends at 1. Was this a deliberate choice?
Actually, no. No. It makes sense, it's really poetic. It's the last Metroid, so you get to see the number 1 there, up there, so it's the last Metroid and it's in captivity, but it wasn't captivity, sorry.
I think I know what the next question should be. and I'm gonna ask this one. What made you decide to put in that Easter egg at the end of the game?
Which
With
Easter eggs,
the,
huh?
well, not necessarily an Easter egg, but, oh my god. That little clip at the end. The
Oh.
nod to Super Metroid.
Actually, it was going to be just text. Just a nice way of tying that this is actually Metro 2. I left it for the very end of development. I wanted to be a surprise to pretty much everybody, including the dev team. But actually, being able to have a voice there was something that Mr. Sufficer was able to manage. He actually arranged kind of like a small audition. I was actually able to choose from a couple of actresses, and yes, and this was the strongest option. I did have to do a little bit of pitch shifting to make her sound a little bit more mature, but it was very sweet, and yes, it was something that was on at the last minute, but I was able to pull it off. And you get to see one name on the credits that says special thanks. You get to see the name Isabel Amponin, or however it's pronounced. That's the name of the actress.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is she in the chat? Can we talk to her?
I really doubt it.
Aw, okay, that's fine. I believe you did get a hold of the actress for Samus and Other M, though.
Yes, I was able to exchange a couple of emails with Jessica Martin. She's a lovely person. She did like the idea of the remake, and she did like the quality of her production. But unfortunately, she has legal constraints that don't let her participate in any Metroid-related projects indefinitely. So, unfortunately, yes.
I didn't know it was indefinite. I figured it would be a like a set time.
I'm not sure. By the time I asked, she was not able to collaborate. But she did wish us good luck for the project.
Apparently they feel that the game needed more tubes.
Ah, that cute little meme. Yeah, there's tubes. Don't worry. Once you get to Area 5, there's tubes.
You know that we are going to be having to include tubes in our next project, right?
I guess.
Yeah. AM2R.
Yeah, it does have tubes in it. Oh, speaking of tubes, I don't know how many people caught it, but our artist Zim actually put in a tubes Easter egg in the best ending. If you look on Samus's little soda can that she's got, it actually says tube on the front of it.
Oh, it does?
It does. I remember she pointed that out when she was showing me the in-progress work. It definitely got a good chuckle out of it.
She did awesome work with that art.
Absolutely.
Yes, it was pretty much done on the last stretch of development too.
I think she had the model for the Prime style Samus, but I'm wondering. I never asked her, but I think that the AM2R style armor, because we did customize it a good bit, and we made sure that it was constant throughout the whole game, including all the menus, all the sprites, all the little details in the armor all in the same place, and for the sake of consistency. But I don't know if there's actually an AM2R version of the model, or if it was just touched up in her graphics program to look like that.
I think it was done in post-production.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think so. Man, I gotta do all that again. Let's try and sparked in the wrong direction. I don't like using the Xbox controller for this.
Yes, blame the controller.
I am blaming the controller. I'm a lot better at this game than it looks. What? Oh, okay. Sir, will you be able to be on for the whole stream?
Apparently, yes. Both my girls are very distracted today, so I should be able to have some free time.
How would you feel about having? I would take a break from the chat because I don't think people are really all that interested in what I have to say. And how would you feel about having Jack and Zam on voice chat and
Sure.
having them answer questions and talking to you as well?
That would be fun.
Okay. I need to change the call, so let me go ahead and toss them in. How do I do this?
I think you should stay in the chat.
No, we are. We definitely are. I want to open that one up. And how do I invite more people?
And we've got some more questions for both of you when you're ready.
Ooh, do mine first, so that, because I'm gonna be, yeah.
Well, this is from Metroid 3D for both of you. Is it true that Falcool just sent you Metroid 2 bleeps and bloops instead of real music at some point?
That would have been awesome, but it was not the case, as far as I remember.
Hey, I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Zim. I don't think I've actually heard your voice before.
Yeah, I think this is actually the first time. Hello,
Hello,
chat.
madam.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Cool. This is much better. I've been typing in the chat and being like a minute behind.
I need Jack to add me on Discord so I can put him in the call as well.
Okay, I will let him know. Number friend. Hello, Fire Emeralds. So, I think I just missed people talking a little bit about me, or talking about the endings. Did I?
Yeah, you said that wasn't the only Easter egg at the end.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. There were, in the best ending, there is a lot of really silly things. On the screen behind her, you can very clearly see that it says, the last Metroid is in captivity. And that's obviously a reference to Super Metroid. If you actually zoom the hell into the high-res version, then people have actually managed to read it, and I haven't figured out how.
Oh.
But it says all your base belong to us, and I wasn't actually expecting anyone to be able to read that. So I just like put it there and I blurred it out, but like apparently you can read it. So
Maybe
my
they
gosh.
use the sharpen tool in Photoshop or something.
yeah, that's some magical like streaming or sharpening ability if you can actually like read that. It says tubes on the can, which I specifically put in for someone in the Metro Discord. Because he really loves tubes, and I like to remind him that every time he feels not appreciated, that I put that there for him. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say. The ending 2, the one where Samus has no helmet, is the worst one, and I don't like it. So I tell people to either take a really long time or beat the game as fast as possible.
Don't be average. Do not be
I
average.
like it. It looks nice. I find it nice. I like it.
I actually do too. I do enjoy that one. Also because that's the one I always get.
Am I here?
Yes, you are. Jack, hi.
Hey,
We called you.
Yoda, because I think the Twitch is a little slow on my end or something.
Yeah, it's about a minute behind.
There's a little bit of a lag there.
It's a 14-second delay, I believe.
At least for us.
At least for me.
I'm actually
Wow.
still...
If
It's,
you guys have other questions, I have some, just let me know.
Totally.
Speaking of the later areas, you know the question of the locked transport chamber is gonna come up. What is that question? What are
Oh
you
my
referring
gosh,
to?
I am so tired of that thing. I wish that we were able to fix it before we released. Oh, there's in the distribution center. There's a pipe that's blocked off that doesn't
Oh,
actually lead
the
anywhere.
dead zone pipe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be broken, but we never finished the graphic for it.
Like, we want people to be angry at us. Just that's the catalyst right there.
I pretty much had to make an object that has the closed thingy there, so it does detect someone's close by, and does open. But I said, well, I make a variation of this object later and keep it closed, or just to make it broken, and
Or make it take you to a secret area, maybe. Probably not, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of conspiracy theories up there.
There's so many things that we didn't get in.
I think there was an idea that we had for. It was just stupid. I don't think it would have made it into the game, but it would have been for fun. The idea of a massive Shine Spark puzzle with the theme of Rainbow Road in the background.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I thought I hallucinated that, or had like a bad.
It would essentially be an acid trip that you have to concentrate through.
Yes.
There's way too many ideas like this.
I played Super.
I deleted my link. Can we like not put links into the chat?
Oh, I did remove hyperlinks to avoid spam.
Oh, can I give it to your wife and then she can link it?
Maybe? I'm not sure. Give it a shot.
Can you direct message me?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a message on Discord. Speaking I remember there's a lot of cut content. Like we have the 3 endings that we didn't finish, and I remember Doc mentioned something about a mode with no lava.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounded like a lot of fun.
I like Lot's wife pillar of salt over bean combos, man. I'm so proud of that shit.
Yes, there were going to be awesome bean combos that were going to be a pain in the ass to balance, but very fun to actually code and develop. And many other things that I was actually going to be, doing just for fun.
I think we toyed around with the idea of expanding the screen resolution to be 16:9 instead of 4:3.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a technical hassle, either that or...
apropos on that.
But another thing that was planned and was actually possible to do was to add borders on the 2 edges of the screen. So at one point I was going to be asking Sim if she was able to provide a nice border, or just to have this to fill the blank space on both sides of the 16:9 aspect ratio monitor. But yeah, I saw that feature in Lambulana and it looks pretty awesome. But another thing
so
that
many
people
things.
make it.
The one thing I wanted to add, and this was really stupid, and I never got anywhere near convincing Doc for this, is that I wanted to have a rocket kick mode that replaced all of the missiles with kicking. In the style of
like
Smash
Zero
Bros.
Suit? Yeah,
exactly.
I played the shit out of that.
The rocket gears are so cool. So just imagine instead of missiles, you were just kicking the Metroids to death. I would love that.
That sounds pretty badass.
Right?
Dive Kick 2 featuring Samus as the only character.
Yeah. So we should just totally do that sometime.
Justin Bayonetta. Go.
I got a friend
Oh
request.
man.
Oh, there you are. Hi. Okay, here I can give you this link.
Doc, was it very complicated to do the hard and easy mode? What are all the important differences of the difficulty settings?
Well, easy mode is it's really easy. Just a damage multiplier for Samus. You can take many more hits, but there's very little difference in enemy placement. I think there's 1 or 2 bosses that do behave a little bit different. The tester, for example, has fewer projectiles in some of the patterns, but other than that, it's mostly damage. Hard mode has a little bit more work into it. All the Metroids are actually faster, and some of the bosses do have extra projectiles going on. The tester, for example, is pretty much a nightmare in that mode.
The good nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, blowing up my robots.
You did a wonderful job with them, sir. I actually kind of feel sad by destroying them.
Yeah, you should.
Speaking of hard mode, we can talk about the 3 endings. that we didn't get to add.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, which is really funny because like the Metroid Wiki has like it has a section for like cut content for AM2R, and like for the longest time,
Does it really?
yeah, it does. And like the weird thing is like it describes 3 endings that like I never mentioned. So
Wow.
like someone said that like it was Doc's idea, and like you said it in an interview or something.
What are these 3 separate ideas?
Yeah.
I've heard about these.
Apparently there were like references to other games, but like that's not the endings we planned.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
Yeah, so we did actually plan 3 more endings, and I'm actually still going to do them. Yeah, so hopefully, like, whoever's like still working on the game to make like non-official, extra non-official like edits can add them in. But so
It won't be me.
the 3 endings that we were going to add were Samus playing Game Boy, because
Nice.
Metroid 2 is on Game Boy. Samus playing cello, which was Doc's idea, and it's a reference to Tetris. So in the original Tetris, there's a shot of like various Nintendo characters playing instruments, and one of them is Samus, and she has a big cello. So we had this idea of having her like on a stage in like a really nice orange dress, and she's like playing for an audience. That was fun. And the last ending,
I would
right?
actually like that.
No, I was just picturing that as a painting. Actually.
I could see her playing a
I
cello.
love that so much.
She strikes me as a
I'm
string
still gonna
instrument
do
person.
that. I'm still gonna do that, just not yet, because I made way too much Metroid Art last year. Like I think I made too much.
What
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
there's any such thing.
on some of the endings on other games is that sometimes Samus is portrayed in her daily life.
Yeah.
Sometimes together a drink, and we wanted to expand a little bit on that. Having her have an artistic side would be pretty awesome to see, and it was a nice change of pace. Just instead of seeing a bounty hunter kicking ass, we get to see a nice lady that actually has a life.
Exactly.
That would be
Like
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's such an expressive instrument, you know.
We get to humanize her.
Yes.
like, she's probably pretty rich, let's be real. So she probably
God,
has
yeah.
some like interesting hobbies or
Jack
anything.
stacked and paid.
Which the last ending, the best ending that we were thinking of doing was just Samus like out for a jog, but doing like speed booster in her Zero suit. And I just wanted to like paint rainbows was the main reason for that one.
Oh, I could have given you a good excuse for that one. If we did end up doing the Rainbow Road idea, like the 5% chance that it had, if that did end up happening, I wanted to make a separate ending, specifically for if the player had completed that puzzle.
Yeah.
And the ending would have Samus in a go-kart on Rainbow Road with a green shell.
Dude, how is Samus not in my... I mean, Link's on a goofy little Epona cycle, which is dope, but like, imagine a little gunship and just a little goofy Samus. Why not? Then it's fucking pinball.
Well, I did the Samus with the balloons, which Doc said is somewhere in the code.
Yes, I completely forgot to add it. Sorry.
Oh man!
It was in the folder. I was going to add in that as a hidden background, and it's 3.9. Sorry, I wasn't even in a deadline. My apologies.
Oh man!
I'm pretty sure people are still digging through the code and trying to find it. But yeah, my bad. Sorry.
It's like the pendant from Dark Souls now.
There's a pendant in Dark Souls? What's
So
the story?
the pendant in Dark Souls is one of the starting gifts you can start with. And like the starting gifts like range in quality, like the thief's tools for the starting gift, or rather the master key is like really good. And that makes the game like way easier. And then the pendant is like, it has like a weird description. I don't remember the description, but the pendant doesn't do anything. And like people have been trying to figure out what the pendant does for like the longest time, and then finally the devs came out and said like, no, it doesn't actually do anything. It's just there.
Which is
In
potentially
classic Dark
infuriating.
Souls style.
Yeah. Like you could have like picked this pendant and like played the entire game and realized that like you got no perk from using it.
Like that amulet thing in Minish Cap in the Switchblade newsletter that people rip their hair out trying to figure out.
Probably something similar.
Or Charm, maybe. I don't remember what it was.
Like that ice key in Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be used for something.
Hey, ukulele addressed that straight up. I can't wait for ukulele, for the record.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm excited too. I was thinking of playing Banjo-Kazooie again.
I actually never got to play it. Am I missing much? So
It's really good,
Yes.
you should play it. It's still really good. It's one of those games on N64 that's aged really well.
It
Must
actually
have
does have
N64.
Metroidvania elements as well. Collecting new upgrades and abilities in order to move on to new areas.
Microsoft acquired Rare, and they dumped Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie somewhat retooled on Xbox Live Marketplace for 360, I think.
Is it on
It's also
Windows
on
10?
Xbox One.
Because then I'll buy it.
I don't think it's cross-buy. I don't think it's on Windows 10 either, but it is on the Xbox One. I
Darn.
can confirm that much.
Yeah, it's actually not.
What?
Yeah, you cut out.
Me?
Yeah.
Fix your microphone, Jack.
Maybe his microphone jack isn't jacked in properly.
ooh.
Actually, that's a fair point. Oh, I'm on my goofy laptop. Hang on.
In the meanwhile, Cheryl, do you have any more questions?
Yeah.
Let's answer
I'm
some more
just
questions.
curious because I had never heard this. Were there originally supposed to be blood graphics in AM2R?
Ooh.
At one point, yes, people have found some blood particles. I actually did manage to get in Game Maker. It did feel a little bit out of place. I wasn't
Little too
actually
much.
going to recolor that, but after a little bit of deliberation, I wanted the game to feel as authentic as possible. Pretty much like if Nintendo would have produced it. So if there was going to be any blood, it was going to be just for the Metroid, just to make the mutations look goopy, you know.
Gross.
But that's it. Nothing else. And the queen.
There
Green
was
blood
also-
is always universally accepted, even for Nintendo, I guess.
I always found it really funny that like Samus is depicted with her armor being like perfectly clean when she's like
Yeah.
literally running around underground constantly.
Yeah, no way, right?
Special Chozo
Windex.
aquaphobic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never wet sprayed all over.
Maybe she has
Teflon.
Got a treatment.
Chozo
Yes.
Teflon.
A Teflon coat and maybe the Teflon is discovery of the Jozo people.
It's just it's Chozo magic, everything.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I like Chozo magic.
What was the idea / inspiration behind the section where you control the hopping enemy to carry super missiles to progress? That little
That thing had a couple of revisions.
Skippy.
That Skippy, the funny auto.
I think that was his internal name.
Yeah. So, at first, you get into the factory, and the gimmick there was you get to control some machinery. At some point, you were going to be controlling a crane to just peel the way of some boxes. That got into a prototype, and it was so fucking boring. Then the crane became a hovering claw of sorts. Then again, it wasn't that exciting. So instead of breaking my skull and making something complex, I did recycle one enemy right and made it controllable by the player. It was really straightforward.
I think it's
And,
super cute, for the record.
It was fun.
It is. When you control it, it's cute. When you have to face it and it's kicking your ass, it's not cute anymore. But
I think it's the point in the game that I wasted the most amount of time. And confession, I've only beaten this game once.
that's okay.
Hates her so much.
I'm surprised that like any of the devs have played it so much. Because by the time it came out, I was so sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I actually.
Yeah. Admittedly.
Confession o'clock. I have not played the full final release from start to finish. So this will be
man.
the first time I've actually played it from start to finish.
Really?
In its final form, yeah.
While we're on that topic, shout out to JK Max, who I think is currently in the Twitch chat.
I think
He
so,
was
yes.
the first one to ever ask me for all 3 ending art, because like anyone who beat the game, I could give them like the high-res version as like wallpapers. And I told Doc that within 24 hours, someone will have all 3 endings, and he did. He had it with something like, it was like 23 hours and like 45 minutes.
Good. Good work,
Oh my
man.
god.
That's so fucking hardcore.
Dedication.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's right. You can get that.
cutting
What
it
is
down.
it? It is a good
Yeah,
game.
it is.
I mean,
It is. It's a lot of fun.
it's a good video game.
There was parts while I was playing it where I was like, this might actually be better than Super Metroid, and Super Metroid is like my all-time favorite game. So,
It certainly feels better as far as the control scheme goes. And
It's
how
more
Yeah,
modernized
sure.
on a basic.
We're kind of cheating, you know. We did have some time to actually iterate
Yeah.
through the classics. So
Yeah.
Super Metroid was pretty much brand new, and
It's-
they didn't have a point of reference.
it is really a huge shame that like this couldn't be the first game that is like constantly tweaked and improved. Cause like, just imagine how much better it could have been like in a year if we got to keep on working on it.
Totally.
Right.
I dream about a Switch version of this, to be dead honest. I really.
Oh man, that next thing we're gonna make though, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's still very early to talk about it, but
I have been
You know-
glossing over those questions. I've seen them.
yes, our production policy, at least mine, is if you don't have anything awesome to show yet, don't show anything.
Oh no, for sure.
Alright, so
What can't
When-
we
when
talk
it-
about?
it's
We
just
can't
the
show
awesome.
anything. Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I think it's enough that we're all working on something new together. Like,
Certainly.
and I mean, if it wasn't such a joy to work with Doc, I wouldn't have cared. But you're really fun to work with.
Thank you, likewise. It's really awesome to see talent and just get nice ideas. The other day we were speaking about random stuff, level design things, and Miss Sim here, she actually did suggest using concepts of what's it called, scene composition, something that you apply in cinema, and apply that into level design, and it makes perfect sense. This kind of elements I had already used in AM2R up to a certain extent, but making that the starting point of the design of an entire area makes perfect sense, and having people with different disciplines giving their hand really expands the potential quality of the product, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, for sure. Like, my art director gives us like a ton of leeway, and it's like, if you let people exploit the abilities that they have, it's just gonna create better work. Even if it's like not the specific thing that they're assigned to do.
That's one thing that I heard
Got
Mr. Koji Igarashi did with Castlevania Symphony of the Night. He was very permissive with the artists. And little details like the telescope in one of the areas, you get to see a telescope and peek through it, you just see a random boat on a lake. That's something that one of the artists came up with. He left it in. It was a nice detail. It was something that expanded the world. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
There's a really great devs play video of that. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
I think we saw the same one.
Yeah, the team of Double Fine play with
Yes.
him. It's
That one.
fantastic. So anyone in the chat, if you haven't watched it and you really like Symphony of the Night, which you should, because it's a fantastic game, you should check out the devs play video with Igarashi.
Yeah. Double.
Ow.
What was the most painful thing to debug?
My first thought is the spider ball.
Spider, yes.
Yeah.
Spider was a bitch.
What's a
pretty much.
slope?
The slopes.
Man.
It wasn't the
if my art direction went the action dash style, that everything is square and blocky, I would certainly like the sprite more. But those looks, man.
Can I ask the glitch about falling to the floor after you beat the queen? How did you figure that one out?
Actually, when the queen actually grabs you, you have the chance of being in a position that's not pixel perfect.
Oh shit.
Oh, so you're not
So
like
when-
quite on the floor?
Yeah, you're pretty much half a pixel below the floor, and when you pretty much try to cross through another area, the trigger for that is actually on the pixel above, and you pretty much miss the mark. So the collision, the transition to the next room is not triggered. You fall to infinity, and yeah, that pretty much makes me look like an amateur developer.
Yes. So I guess for the chat, if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, in the 1.0 version of this game, there's a glitch after you beat the final boss where you could just fall to the floor.
Yeah, it's since it depends on the position of Samus and where she was when you got grabbed by the queen. It was really very random. It was very hard to actually find that.
Yeah, that's crazy that you managed. And you did so fast. I think the turnaround was like 2 days, wasn't it? Like one point.
I think I actually tweeted and I made the rune trigger a lot bigger. So
Yeah.
wherever your position was, you're not going to be actually missing that. But that would translate that same problem to the next room. So I ended up fixing that anyway.
I was so terrified of getting the gravity suit because I'd heard about the invisible gravity suit glitch.
I was terrified by watching YouTubers play that. So every time I reached the chamber, I said, please appear, please appear, please appear, don't disappear, don't be invisible,
But it's
please appear.
I think there was one YouTuber who ended up getting that glitch, and they
Still beat the game?
I know they
God.
got the 1.1 version right in the nick of time.
Ooh.
Confession, I got to the first Omega and I was stuck, like completely stuck until 1.1.
My apologies for that.
I'm not very good at the short hops,
Mhm.
and that's what you need to beat it. So
Yeah,
that was
I
really
have a hard time with
difficult.
those as well.
Yeah, it's that first Omega revision was a little bit brutal. It certainly would have benefited from a couple of revisions.
I saw
Yeah.
a lot of people who had mixed feelings about the difficulty of the Omegas.
I
But,
think-
later on they became way too easy.
Yeah, for sure. The nest, they're kind of, but you have to fight 4 in a row, so like it doesn't really. If it was like 4 barely survived fights in a row, that would be like really frustrating. So I think they worked
Yeah.
out fine.
It kind of ends up being pretty much like a chore. You have a save point nearby, so
Yeah.
if you have trouble, you can just go to the save and waste some time. You know, it's
Yeah.
maybe that's a place I could have redesigned a little bit more liberally instead of sticking so much to the original.
They are really easy, the original.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
assumption about the in-sequence Metroids, I think, that goes into, like, you know damn good and well how to deal with these by now, I'm sure. But anyone that kind of doesn't, like, I don't see them getting too overwhelmed there, but...
They certainly hurt.
Yeah, oh yeah,
They
there's
hurt
no
a lot.
denying that. We made sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that spiked floor can become a pain when you freeze them. And with the new ice beam physics, they fall to the floor.
The Omegas?
I thought we were talking about the alphas.
Oh,
The
right,
alphas,
right,
the-
yeah.
The regular Metroids.
Those are pretty great.
Oh my gosh.
I remember it's like in the original game, like, because you don't have weapon stacking, you re-get the ice beam, like, right near the end.
Hmm.
And it's like, as soon as that happens, you know what's up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like, there is only one reason I'm getting this.
Atlas chose it, though.
Oh, Doc, did you wanna explain
Oh.
perhaps why the ice beam is now the last weapon you get in the game instead of the first?
read that?
I do recall reading about the ice beam placement in the forums. There was a debate about this, and pretty much the first design of the entire game was following the same beam order as the original. But as I saw playthroughs of the first couple of demos, the ice beam wasn't being pretty much used at all. The feature of making the enemies a platform, it was useless. It was there, but it wasn't being used at all. And no area was taking advantage of that. And since you pretty much get spiral right away, that entire functionality is useless. So just being able to freeze enemies so easily and render them harmless pretty much broke the game. So I had to develop a tolerance for freezing, and that was actually negating the freeze effect itself. So it didn't make much sense. I actually took some time to realize that, seeing people play. So yeah, it actually felt better to make the ice beam the ultimate weapon, make it actually required to actually advance. So yeah, it's very easy to miss on the first temple, and I was going to be repeating that same pretty much like the original did, get the SP in the last area too. But I think this progression worked a little bit best, and having specific places to get the player experiment and learn about the freezing and then shooting missiles to shatter that kind of teaches this mechanic for people that hasn't played Metroid yet. So pretty much this was the function that Ceres had. You have this huge snake thingy that's made of these gelatinous parts. So the shattering mechanic is thought in this particular place. Luckily, it's certainly satisfying, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a nice way of actually introducing this mechanic and teaching the player how they are going to be facing gelatinous, dangerous stuff later on. In this case, the Metroids themselves.
I love the little blob walls. I was so confused at first, but it's really like satisfying once you finally get through them.
Yes, they make little sense. You have firepower to destroy pretty much everything, and these strange blobby things are immune to power bombs. We just destroy a nuclear reactor with that.
Did you ever consider disabling the pause button for the queen fight?
No. Everybody has to go to the bathroom at some time, and it would be pretty awful if your bladder made you lose a fight on the final boss.
Just like Metroid 2.
I got cornered.
I love the Zetas. They're my favorite.
They are great.
They're so cute. Look at it, it's like a little raptor.
Yeah.
They do have a bad habit of stun locking you in a corner, though. That is from a design standpoint, that is definitely a no-no.
I think this one in particular was like the hardest out of all of them.
Oh my gosh.
Steve is...
Huh? Man, you gotta stop cutting out like that, man. You're confusing me.
Yeah. I think he's gone.
Oh, did he leave?
What?
I can't hear him. Is he
Alright,
still there?
I'm here.
Both of us.
I don't hear him.
No. He's gone.
You gotta replace your microphone, dudes. There's something going on.
I think it's specifically his phone jack.
Oh, I see. Oh, he's using his phone.
No, not his phone jack, his headphone jack. Sorry. It's
Oh,
not
got
actually
it.
true. I was just making a really bad pun.
Is there an official name for those statues, or are they
Bird and Ernie.
just Joseph's?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
Bird
think.
Ernie.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if there wasn't an official name before, there is now. Bird and Ernie.
The
I
original
never
idea
told
for the
either of you guys. I
statues.
called them Bert and Ernie.
No.
Would
Really?
you like to tell the people the story about these two statues and how they were designed, rotoscope and stuff?
If my connection is good, yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
It takes
Oh,
nearly in
man.
anticipation.
The best timing possible.
What?
You cut
Oh, you
out
cut
again.
out right when you were starting to talk.
Yes.
God damn it. Doc said action figures. I had Lego Chima bird people. I posed them. End of story.
Awesome. Yep.
It certainly did the trick.
I did not do the fill-in. I did the line art, and we got this really talented guy last minute that filled it in. I struggled with it for months, and I just couldn't finish it.
Can we give him a name drop because he did a damn good job with everything he did.
Oh
He
yeah.
was that
He
too,
helped
right?
with the opening sequence. He helped with the background for the last area before before getting into the genetics lab.
Yeah, Doc, what was his name?
Let me look it up. I can't remember. He's an extremely talented pixel artist from Russia.
Yeah, Russian, right?
He is insanely talented and he works blazingly fast. I throw stuff at him, he makes them in just one night. And the only thing that was a little bit inconvenient was the time zone differences.
Yes.
But other than that, it was really awesome to work with this person. It certainly made the last stretch of production actually bearable. Where was it?
Was he on the Freed camp?
Let me check. Fleet Camp has changed quite a lot, and
I haven't been using it since the release date, to be totally honest.
Yes.
We hopped into it a little bit for somebody else's project, but that ended up falling through.
Yes,
Oh really? I
unfortunately,
didn't know about that.
we kind of lost the discussion section of the AM2R project. So yes, it
There was
kind of
comedy
disappeared.
gold in there.
I don't think I ever looked at it. I confess.
Don't worry.
That's okay. You're not missing much.
I never checked my work email either. Really bad.
Oh.
One of my friends actually did fall for the Sonic thing, by the way. So,
Oh, really?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I am actually really, I'm very flattered by the amount of support that we got for that from people who thought that it was a real thing.
Hey, Sega would actually support you
Know
if you
about
did
it.
it.
It was exciting.
You know, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I really hope someone takes that idea and rolls with it, because I would play that.
Christian,
You give Sonic some 80s style shades, make every stage have retro synthwave themes to it. Yeah, I'll play that.
Yeah, give some vaporwave aesthetic, because that's really in right now.
I want some blue and cayenne and chrome.
I don't particularly agree with the Camina shades, but the rest of the style is pretty awesome.
I mean,
I have
Shades totally fits Sonic as a character.
yeah, all that 90s too doesn't need to die off entirely.
Yeah.
I had so much fun making the logo that I actually
Ravens?
used it for the dev
Ravens?
commentary in the bottom. Right there in the corner. I loved it so much.
Oh, you're gonna shoot more of my robots. This
Yeah.
tank was dope, though. Your initial design that I just built off of was truly dope.
We were talking about that earlier. I think you were on the Twitch chat for that, right?
It's my internet's been fucked up this whole time, to be honest.
Ah, boo!
I've been struggling, but I'm here.
It's because you live in Canada.
Yeah, I live in Canada too.
I live in Quebec, actually. Maybe that's the problem.
See, well, I'm really lucky because my roommate streams, and like we were having a lot of trouble with the service that we bought, so we ended up upgrading to fiber. So
Nice.
the one time I get to use it, because she streams like pretty much every other night. She's actually in the chat, so I'll give her a shout out. Cerulean Skylark, she's a really fantastic streamer, and sometimes I pop in on that. Very, very rarely, but you should check her out if you're into watching the streamers.
What's
I think I might have caught one of her streams.
Yeah, I occasionally link it in the Metro Discord.
That makes sense. I've definitely
hey,
seen one
Don.
then.
Yep.
Maybe talk about what made you decide to make the Chozo tank like piecemeal, like giving the player options on how to fully destroy it based on its parts. That's a good story.
Oh, I just found a spot you can get soft locked. Ooh, that would have been bad. Do it.
Well,
Yes!
so
I did it.
I wasn't even sure I was going to actually pull off the entire escape sequence. This was going to be just the basement with the bar one. But yeah, that depending on which system you decide to attack first, you have some tactical advantage. And that was going to be the entire thing about this particular boss. It was not going to be just a set piece to apply some pressure to the urgency of the player, but a real fight, a real challenge. But all of those design thingies are 3%. If you destroy the head, the missiles don't track you anymore, so they just fly randomly. If you destroy the main cannon, it's not going to be using that anymore, so you only have to deal with the missiles. And if you destroy the tracks first, it's going to be losing its mobility, so it's not cornering you towards the wall anymore. So the player had the option to pretty much choose what advantage they wanted to go for first, and that was going to be pretty much what the entire contents of the lobby entry was going to be. But we ended up simplifying that fight just to make it part of the escape sequence, and I think it works a lot better this time.
It was a great fucking idea. It's my favorite part of AM2R, personally, is that the tank is busted up into pieces.
It reminds me a lot of the dragon tank from Chrono Trigger.
I
don't think I
finished
ever got
Chrono
that
Trigger
far.
yet.
I thought of that too, Zim. Like, I think I mentioned that to Steve.
It's very similar. The dragon tank doesn't have as many parts,
Right.
but it's got like it disables.
First time in Chrono Trigger.
You broke out again.
That was like the
Yeah,
first
that
time in
sucks.
Chrono Trigger where bosses have multiple targets, and it was neat.
Yeah.
It taught you.
Yes, and we were just, I don't remember which one I did first, but we just had finished making the tester. That was a nice, nice challenge with so many moving parts and attack sequences, and it was a nice process.
Tester is fantastic, for the record.
Thank you.
I had this this idea, and then a couple of nights I did a bother Jack saying, "Jay, I need this thingy. Can you do this thingy for me?" In just a matter of half an hour, this guy was already producing that, and I was already adding this. Jack, I need a cannon that has this shape and this size and this form, and the guy did it. It was very dynamic, the way of making stuff. So it was pretty much finished in just a couple of days.
You remember the first tester?
Yes. That was a lack of communication on my part.
Ah, no, it was me. I got overexcited. I was like, I get to make a new thing! And it looked fucking like Parodius, only vertical, and
I want to see that.
I think I gave it to Steve for the beta material stuff, didn't I? The first tester that's all peach.
I think it
should be in there.
ended up appearing on Twitter on the days leading to the release.
So we're kind of at a transitional spot where we're about to go to my personal favorite area.
Oh, nice.
Did we want to answer a few more questions between areas?
We can.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
sure.
go back a little bit because I've got a little bit of a backlog.
Yeah.
Doc, you got rid of the beeping noise when you're at low health. What do you think about the idea of getting away with the charge noise when charging a beam as well? I need to reread that. I understand.
Is it too annoying? I'm not sure, so the volume isn't that intrusive, but do you spend that many time with the charge being charged all the time? I
I've
think I
had that
find
same
it
question
particularly
pop up a
distracting.
couple of different times.
That's a common habit for some Metroids, is just keep the beam charged. It's
Maybe
like
he-
a reflex.
Same with
Maybe he's,
Mega Man.
Yeah, maybe he's a Mega Man player, I was going to say.
Did you ever consider putting Ridley into the game?
No.
Confrontation.
No.
He's too big.
From the get-go, I was going to be just Metro 2. No
Double the
fancy
size of the
stuff.
game, have everything in it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no like space pirates at all.
Exactly.
Well, there weren't in the original.
Yeah.
They
that's how
had
it should
nothing to
be.
do with the original storyline either.
And I didn't have a functional reading for confrontation. I could just paste that and it would be there. It would work.
Should have put in Crocomire, because Crocomire is amazing.
You know what I actually thought about doing at one point, and I want to get with Steve on this?
What's that?
Game Boy versions of the shit we added. Like GB 4-color ass monochrome tank and tester and stuff.
I did kind of do that with Samus's front-facing sprite.
Really?
For the if you have the AM2R on your computer and you expand the icon to as big as it can go, it shows that icon instead of the.
Oh yeah,
small
yeah,
one.
you told me about that. I remember, yeah. But can you imagine like crappy old 8-bit tester and tank and the what was the nickname you gave the creature, the Genesis?
That was it. I called him Genesis.
Or
He was a lot of fun to work on. I
It was
really
Kitty.
enjoyed that little
Dog kept
monster.
calling it Kitty. Dog was like, "It's Steve's Kitty," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I think we need an 8-bit Bert and Ernie now.
You had
I could
a.
probably pull that off. Actually, that might be within my scope of possibility.
You have a kind of like a philosophical inspiration for those statues holding the sphere.
Yeah, the burden of might. It's
It's what?
Oh no, we'll never know now.
it's like an old poem.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
it's a poem? That's cool.
And we will never know.
Oh man, I see someone talking about Genesis. I don't know if you've mentioned that it was like a really last-minute boss.
Yeah, but
Genesis
we
was a
have
good
the spreadsheet already done. We only need to add a couple of things here and there, but the Genesis was pretty much coded in one night. It
I
was
swear there's a way to get past this without the power bomb.
it was just designed a couple of very simple states, constrained the room to be just a square. The room was a little bit more complex. It had slopes in it, and I just simplified the room so it would work out of the box with the AI patterns I already had. And I pretty much finished it in one night. It was just a couple of hours. Again, having a deadline makes you a more efficient programmer.
Same.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, Jack is back. Awesome.
What?
Oh, I was wondering where you went.
You were talking about the statues and the poetic
Yeah.
references.
I'm looking for the poem. I don't ever remember the fucking name of it. I'm actually on the free camp trying to fuck because I think we had that talk.
It's possible, but I saw some missing stuff on Flickr.
Oh yeah, you mentioned Freya.
There was some missing stuff on Freed Camp.
Yeah, the entire discussion section on the bug fixing project seems to be gone. So
Did I have a small code?
I don't have the change logs of each version.
So we don't know which one the rocket jump was in.
Nope.
Oh
I'm trying
god.
out different builds at random
Jack
now.
remembers that.
Yeah, that was good.
I still think we need a rocket fake mode.
I agree. We need more Bayo Zero Suda.
Right?
Hey, you should
I
talk
remember.
about.
Huh?
I was gonna say we should have that conversation we had the other day about Samus as a Gerudo.
Well, I mean, the tattoo isn't in the actual game. It's just on my model.
Oh, okay. That would have been pretty dope though.
Samus
Of
is
all the
actually
innovative.
Yeah.
What a twist.
Are there any other questions that people have for us, Cheryl?
I see someone's asking about the name Toth.
The
Yeah,
GF
Oh.
is Toth. Let's talk about that, where the name came from.
the Egyptian origin is specifically what they're referencing.
That's me, and I hope I won't cut out or anything.
Give it your all, man.
For what it's worth, it's just pronounced to, like the word toe, but it drops off. And
That's
this
hard
just-
to pronounce.
Oh,
But yeah, It's the Egyptian god of like science. So
yeah.
fucking easy fit.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Neat.
God of science.
And a bird person. It fits. It has to.
It totally does.
Kind of like the Federation has this habit of naming ships with mythology
Yeah, like the tier.
characters.
That's where I grabbed it from. I'm not that original, people.
It's okay. Neither are we. why we made Metroid not an original
we're playing
game,
a fucking fan remake, so how original are we?
To be fair, we're not doing another fan remake. And a lot of
Right.
people ask us if we're gonna do another fan game, but I
wouldn't want to do that. I
we're
want
not
something I
going-
can own, man.
It's really
Exactly.
stressful, yeah.
we're not going into fan games anymore.
The
We'll leave
amount
that
of
to
times
other
I
fans
get
who have
to-
more free time.
I do get a lot of the typical. Are we gonna make a Super Metroid now? No.
No. I do not want to take that
You could have
on.
made Super Metroid. You have an awesome engine. No.
Nope, Super Metroid's already perfect. Deal with it.
That's my answer.
What did that question settle?
Is there any others?
The only other one is, I have a question. I absolutely love the attention to detail that the planet turns to dusk around halfway through the game, and then to night at the end. But what inspired you to implement this?
That was you, Steve, wasn't it?
Well, Doc had the original idea, but it was only supposed to be day and night. And he was talking to me before about having the idea of having a sunset at some point too, but felt that it was too much work for what it was. And so when he was talking about that, I hopped into Photoshop without telling him and made a sunset version, as well as a nighttime version because that hadn't actually been finished yet.
Yeah.
That's
the only-
funny.
Question for all of
The
you.
only idea was to just return to the surface and it being at night. And that was the only change that was in the original plan.
It was so worth it though, because like ending 1, where she's like running through the fields, is like it turned out so
gorgeous.
well.
It certainly makes the scene look a lot more peaceful,
Yeah.
just like it should be.
I think it's my favorite piece of promotional art is that particular one.
I'm really proud of my Planet Tribe.
Oh, you got that on a T-shirt now.
Yeah, I did.
Cheryl, you said there was another question?
Yes, it's a question for all of you. Are you going to stick together on Doc's next project, or are you going to be going your separate ways?
I fucking hope
Really
so.
nice.
You hope you're going to be going separate ways?
No! What do I have to do? I'm sitting in immigration fucking purgatory, so...
Oh, do I have to stick with you guys?
Oh, heaven forbid.
It's going to be fun. It's still very early. We can't discuss any details yet, but yes, we did have a nice working dynamic with all of these awesome people. And since whatever we are going to be doing now is going to be original, and that means we are going to be able to sell it, there's going to be money involved for everyone, so there's going to be much more defined motivation for each one of us. And deadlines, I'm talking to you guys.
Deadlines will be a little more strict.
No,
What is
that's
it, deadline?
specifically towards me.
Is that a
Because it
line
took,
I died?
forever.
No, that's towards me too, trust me.
It's towards all of you.
Was I ever on time
Yeah.
with shit?
It's open to interpretation.
Yeah. I think I finished the final ending with like 3 days to go.
Yes, it was
It was
a
clutch.
very hectic couple of weeks.
Definitely. It was very stressful.
Especially with all of us working full time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most
Yes,
of us working full time.
I was actually able to time my winter vacations to be close to the release date. So I actually was able to use one entire week to just play the game. And nowadays, my girlfriend is still rubbing that into my face. But it was good for the project.
Good.
I think I had just started my my current job around then, which is partly thanks to this project because it's like really good portfolio pieces. So now I work full time as a game artist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
definitely.
It's the feather in my cap, definitively.
Though one of my professors, because I studied it too, he specifically told me I should have less Metroid in my portfolio.
Why?
You need some variety.
That's when you answer, you need more Metroid in your life.
He actually gave us a project for like an arcade machine, like in the first semester, and his arcade machine was Metroid. So.
What are you talking about? You need less Metroid then.
It's like, you know, it speaks to you personally.
Right?
Right.
It's like, you know, the thing you have like enthusiasm for. And
Exactly.
for me, just like it's really hard for me to shut up about Metroid. And anyone who knows me in real life will tell you that. Especially my roommate. She's watching.
Yeah, my wife, she hears like 97% Zelda and 3% Metroid.
Well, to be entirely fair, Breath of the Wild is pretty big right now.
You're fucking good.
It's
I haven't
good.
played it yet.
It's not even just a good...
I do miss traditional dungeons, I'm gonna be honest.
At
I
least
miss
for me,
weapons that don't break, but I like breaky weapons because it leads to some moments.
Yeah.
Honestly, any game that has like a breakable weapon system, I tend to just throw my weapons. Because that does a lot of damage.
There's a button for that.
Exactly. It's like, if I know that I'm going to hit you with this thing and this weapon's going to break, I'm just going to throw it at you.
That's just minimalist Zelda in a modern sense is a blessing in a lot of ways.
It looks really cool.
It's cool. You just get lost as fuck, like legitimate immersion.
The only reason I
bit of a
haven't
swear
gotten
bear
it
today,
is just
Jack.
I have too many games.
Do what?
I have too many games right now. So
No,
I
I
can't
think
like,
Same
someone
on
told me I cuss too much.
I say you're a bit of a swear bear today.
Before you get out of this area,
Yeah.
you guys want to talk about the Atlantic aesthetic for this region?
Ooh.
Okay, so the overall concept of that particular place wasn't wasn't so technological. It was more of a temple.
Yeah.
And
It was supposed to be
temple.
stone.
Yes, it was mainly made of stone, and the outer part was going to be featuring a background that featured like a sunken city. And it
I
was
still
going to
have
be kind
that.
of like it was going to be kind of like a residential area, but yes, the design did change quite a lot. The place had several revisions. The room layout wasn't that particularly good. So the latest revision was done pretty much using the mechanics as the mechanics first, and then make the entire room layout based on the mechanics that were going to be implemented. This also has to do with the replacement of the items. The items were very different back then, and there was an overabundance of spikes. By this time, you already had the gravity suit, the spear attack, and there were very few obstacles that could pose a challenge by then. So, making these exploding robots and the other mechanics made it into a much more interesting area. So I had to design around those mechanics to pretty much make it fit. And I'm pretty pleased with the design. It's a little bit confusing with all the teleporting in the same area, but overall I'm very satisfied.
I think you can call it successful when the water area isn't automatically the worst part of any game.
Yes, I made a water temple doesn't suck.
Yeah,
It was probably one of my favorite areas in the whole game.
it's really gorgeous.
The only area that I like more is the Federation ship at the surface, but that's because I'm a big horror buff and I love spooky stuff.
I actually love it too. I especially love that Metroid has a lot of like what I call horror light elements, where it's like it's not necessarily meant to be scary, but it's like it's meant to evoke horror themes.
Yeah, that middle ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
it's like it's not too try hard, but it's got like that great feel to it.
It's
And
not
it-
the environmental storytelling that pretty much expands the places and let the player know that some serious shit has happened to you.
It's really great because like that's something in the series that like it was really big in Super Metroid, but then the other games kind of took a lot of it away.
Prime 2 does that really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, Prime 2 is fantastic. One of my idols is the art director of the Prime games, Android Jones. And it's very clear that like with the second game, they're allowed to like open up and just do whatever they want. And so his own personal tastes show through a lot more in Prime 2.
A lot of the Prime team at Retro is gone now, though, right? Like a lot of them.
I believe so.
They worked on Recore apparently.
Did they, or did they try to work on Recore?
I don't know.
Recore wasn't bad. There was one specific area in the... No, it wasn't. There were parts of the floor that you would just fall through. I remember this very vividly because it was easy to repeat and it drove me nuts.
That bad? Jeez.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Got a lot of passion behind those words.
There's areas and a slot for a 5th robot that didn't show up. Now they're making a definitive edition, whatever the fuck that means.
Oh gosh, I should wait then.
Giant Bomb's talked about it.
The finished version, yeah.
Well, like, wouldn't it suck ass if they legitimately don't patch the current game with this stuff, though? Like, that would be gross.
Yeah, that seems like an obligation.
Well, isn't that isn't that an Xbox exclusive?
It's on Windows 10, but that's technically still an Xbox
Microsoft,
exclusive.
yeah.
Wait a minute. I thought we were talking about AM2R.
Pardon?
I thought we were talking about AM2R. What happened?
We were talking about the games too.
Yeah, but it's a dev stream.
Yeah, but we're like... I'm okay with nerding out about Metroid on stream. I don't know about you guys.
I should.
I think a few of our watchers might be like Metroid fans.
Just a few.
Yeah.
Probably.
Couple.
Shout out to Metroid fans if you're in the Discord or if you're in the Twitch and you like this series, maybe you should like...
They're actually just Blaster Master fans that are confused and got lost.
Still need to play that one.
This doesn't look like Mega Man. Why is Mega Man purple?
Where's Sophia?
Where's who?
So Blaster Master, the tank.
Oh, I don't know him by name.
The weird robot dude is a girl.
Dude, Zero on Switch is good. Like, stupid good.
I've heard good things about it. Does it play like the original?
Actually, yeah. To a massive degree. But they added a lot. They did a lot to modernize it, but they kept it rooted.
I'm getting
it's
distracted.
nice. Ah! You found the Wonder Twins.
I found this fight before I found the gravity suit.
I am so sorry.
That was rough.
It was my design.
No, you haven't bought the Jackson 5 yet, have you?
I believe he hasn't yet.
No, I don't think so.
No, I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
I'm not looking forward to that with this controller.
What are you using?
I'm
Just
using an
make sure you
Xbox
have
One
flippers.
controller, but I'm so used to using the Wii U Pro controller that I'm having a really hard time not aiming diagonally.
Did you get a Switch Pro controller?
No, I am. You know how broke I am. What are you asking me that for?
Dude, I traded in my Wii U library to afford my Switch and the
No,
controller.
no, I love my Wii U too much.
There's not enough games to make up for it. You can wait for now.
Gotcha.
I mean,
well,
I like Zelda, but
it
I like.
Bluetooth to a computer, like.
Oh yeah,
If it was backwards compatible, we would have a Switch. Like,
definitely.
Opening day.
Yeah. Oh, I got you.
Just wait for them to like fix all the problems. So like when Switch 1.2 or whatever comes out, just get that.
That's
That's what we did with the
It's a-
Xbox.
yeah,
We waited
it's
till this till the S1.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be new Switch. Just watch.
Oh my gosh, I hope not.
It's pretty dope for PC stuff. It really is.
I got a question for you guys.
Questions?
If there was a new official Metroid, at which point would you prefer their setting for it? Filling out some gaps after Prime 3, a random bounty hunter mission in between, or an actual sequel to Fusion?
Sequel to Fusion.
Well,
I want
Metroid 5. Metroid 5.
I think we got consensus.
All right.
Unequivocally.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm done with going back in time. We need
There's
to
so
move
much
on.
going on plot-wise after Fusion.
Mhm.
So many unexpected. Like, is she like a straight-up renegade from the Federation Justice, or is it like a whole different ballgame?
I've had ideas for this, but none that I would
too.
feel like pursuing.
Can you imagine
I wrote many of them down.
making an alliance with the Space Pirates? Just to get
That would
No.
be too weird. No, that'd be too much.
In the Metroid universe, they're pretty much just pure evil. They do crappy things for the sake of being jerks.
Yeah.
Oh no. Penny, what are you doing?
What is La Mulana?
Ah, that is
So,
a game.
That's an awesome.
Water down the
platformer.
Spelunky?
It's a platformer that's insanely hard, and it has real rhythms. It's kind of like a half a puzzle game and an action game. It's pretty much what Indiana Jones would be in real life if it was a platformer. And
You're talking about Uncharted?
Nathan Drake's new adventure.
I hope so.
And 1001 Spikes, I think. A lot of games come out really
that one's
similar.
awesome.
I prefer Spelunky to La Mulana personally.
It's easy to get into. La Mulana is very hard
I
to
missed
get
a little
back
bit. Are you talking about Metroidvanias?
to. Really much.
There's a lot I like. I
That's such a
especially love.
tough blanket. Where the hell is Chasm? Am I the only one that followed Chasm?
No, I follow it too.
Is it
Yeah.
on the event?
I'm waiting for Ghost Song.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
dear.
Yeah, that
Oh,
game looks
yeah.
hype. That game looks so hype.
Slain was pretty dope. I really liked Slain.
That's like the heavy metal one, right?
Sure. I call it Side Scroll Souls because I'm reductive. But
Yeah,
Oh, was that Salt and Sanctuary?
that's the different one.
that was a thing. That game had so much style, man. When
Have you
games
played? Have you played Guacamelee?
Yes.
Yes.
And Severed. I love that studio.
Both of those games are incredible.
I just
I
finished
Downloaded the
just
PC
finished
version of
Guacamelee.
Guacamelee.
You should
I
play
should
Severed
play-
as well.
I did.
I went to like there's a game dev meetup every month for Toronto, and I met the creative director of Drinkbox there, and I had to like try really hard to not like totally fangirl at him because like
Run at him screaming with something to sign. Yeah.
yeah, because this is all game dev, so like everyone there is like someone who works in the industry, right? So like
Right.
it'd be really silly if like we stopped acting like that.
Now,
No, I'm
It's hard not to when you're a
professional.
fan of somebody else's work.
what a professional. Like, most developers now grew up with games like we did. Like, they
Yeah.
scoff at the word professional like we do.
I mean, it never changes. Like, you don't stop being a gamer once you become a game dev.
Right.
In fact, like my boss is like in his 40s and he has like 2 kids, and every Monday we get to hear about all of his adventures in Breath of the Wild. So
It's a great spectator game.
It actually is, yeah. My wife
My wife
watches me
loves
from time to
watching
time.
it. Yeah, same.
Echo.
We're all married.
I don't
I'm
think
not.
my wife likes it as much as I do.
Get on it, Zim.
Technically not.
You might as well be.
I'm married to the game.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my gosh! I went through all this. You know what? No, I don't want to go back and waste people's time. I'm gonna cheat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not
Are
doing
you
it, man.
deaf-tooling it?
Yeah, I dev tooled.
Ooh.
I don't wanna
using
go
just
back
a
and-
shortcut. It's not cheating.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
You
I
can
don't
do
want to
it.
be
I think
wasting
you're gonna
everybody's
do-
time. You know.
What made you decide to go such a different direction with the Ceres fight than it was in Fusion?
Don't want to be a cheap copy for one.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Pretty much the intention of Versave was just to make use of your brand new beam, and that's pretty much it. The entire sequence of having to break his armor, that was the logical choice. Having him to come from the room and go out pretty much like a bottle lid on Super Metroid was the only way to make it unpredictable. You know, this is not something like in Fusion that you need to stay up in the surface of the water. You're underwater, so you pretty much have access to the entire layout, and it felt the more dynamic way of doing the fight was this one. I didn't have that many options to begin with. I had already decided on the future, and there's not that many things that you can do differently, or I didn't have that much time also. So
Yeah.
for a fairly improvised fight, it ended up looking very nice. It's still a little bit easy, but it's good enough.
Can I say, I still love the way the leg wiggle. It's fantastic.
Oh, she still does it.
Yeah, when she's falling. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
super
Oh, she
cute.
still does it?
The one frame wiggle.
I love it.
Yeah, there it is. I think it's because she's missing a frame of animation, and
Yes.
the game doesn't know what to do,
I
so it
kinda
just
like it.
it loops it.
Exactly. It's supposed to stop at that other set of things that's not there.
It's super
Missing
cute.
or strategically missing? Or
No,
was it-
definitely not on purpose. That was
Yeah.
a side effect of having to give her actual sprites for her gravity suit to replace the shader.
Exactly. I had to pretty much recolor all the sprites of the gravity suit. Bodysuit, I mean, into paper.
That kind of sucked. I was a
Yeah.
little bummed out that we
Yeah.
had to do that.
Bicycle kicking the air at this point when you fall.
That's okay.
The sound designs on the flying chorizo reminded me of Descent. Was that on purpose?
The what?
Descent?
Yeah, it's an old school space shooter.
I thought they meant that claustrophobia ass movie. I was like, what?
I don't remember very few of that game. I
think it was-
didn't play that much.
I think it was Ridley who said that it sounded like you'd sampled Ghidorah from the Godzilla movies.
Yeah, that's what we picked, wasn't it?
it was Mechaghidorah.
Yeah. I think it was. I think it was.
I recommended Pokemon tries at first. I was like,
I find those so annoying. I want them to actually say their names.
Haxorus.
I'm the opposite. I like the
That's
way
what
they
makes it
handled
work.
them in Pokemon Origins,
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
where it was actually accurate to the games and not the show.
They sound so like grating though.
I like them. They're precious.
Like the cop team of like a Magnemite that can hack locks and shit. That was dope.
It's awesome.
I want a game out of that. I want to be a Poke Cop.
I
Dope,
wish they
that's
made
good,
Pokemon
right?
Origins
That's what
into
the
like a
kids are
full
saying?
show.
Right?
Penny,
Like
don't be a
it's too
pest.
short.
You
It's
get
so
more
good.
quality out of that shit than like what 10 seasons of the anime. Except the Sun and Moon anime is pretty good so far. So
I think it's the Pokemon show is the longest running anime in history now.
I know
probably
I'm missing stuff.
I believe it.
franchise or generally.
Generally.
Okay.
It's not like, unlike Sailor Moon, it's not like a meta series. It's all just one series.
If you see an anime, there's probably at least 9 other bits of promotional materials or product, you know? Like, anime also means action figures and a manga and a drink line, and yeah.
I remember the very first episode of Pokemon. I saw it just like, I was a kid and I just like caught it on TV. It's like, hey, it's that thing that people are like starting to talk about. And so I watched it. It was really great.
Jackson 5. Jackson 5
Yeah.
time.
You can do it.
Oh my
Watching
gosh.
It was
speedrunners in
originally
this
the
area
Temptation,
is
but Jackson
just
5 is funnier.
intense.
Infuriating. Cheryl. It's infuriating. Because I could never do that.
It's infuriating. I can agree with that. I just hide
How
in the
the
corner.
heck?
Yep,
Hide in the corner. Just
Yep.
fight him.
yep.
Tank it.
I think Druid has a badass strat for these.
Can we get Druid in Relics?
I believe, or maybe I'm thinking of Natiska, he has plans, unfortunately, that coincide with our stream, so he wouldn't be able to make it.
I think it
Is
might be
Druid in the
Druid.
chat?
No, I think Natiska is.
I saw Druid earlier. I don't know if he's still in
Yeah,
the chat.
GeneralRidley's in here. He is. He was
General
just,
Ridley is,
he
but-
was just talking.
Is
Okay.
Natiska or Druid Wars in the? I believe they would be in the Discord chat, which I don't
Druid was. I don't know if he is.
should show up on the right side under online. Do I have everything? Yeah, I think I got everything here.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to move on to the best part of the game.
Druid strats make me straight up cry sometimes. I'm just like, I can't. And doesn't he do it with a keyboard?
Yeah, he does it with a keyboard. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
The guy's insane. And every time I saw one of his videos, it's holy shit, you can do that?
Right?
Yeah.
And I did the fucking game.
Oh, there's certainly some beauty to it, and seeing the way that he would run some areas during the beta tests and the closed test versions. I think that also gave way to a lot of the shortcuts that are now in the game.
Druid is not human.
That explains everything.
I mean, have any of us actually seen his face?
I've only seen his icon, which is a I think it's either a Zeta or an Omega head sitting on top of a really ripped dude.
Yeah. It's just pure comedy.
I definitely get giggles out of that.
Maybe that's what the machine thinks humans look like.
Esteban, I believe.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah, he
shares-
shares my first name.
He's in Argentina, not too far from here. And at some
Okay.
point we were going to be making a meeting to do some live playtesting, but that eventually never happened. But maybe he backed out because he knew I was realizing he's a robot, actually.
Too close to the
You figured him out.
How about we try and get him in here? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Druid, you feel like talking?
Oh, I am missing stuff. I'm debating whether or not I want to go back and do cleanup.
What did you miss?
I missed quite a few things, actually. I missed one down... Stop that! Get out of here. Don't chew on that.
Okay, I see that one in the main tunnel.
Yeah, there's one in the main tunnel. There's this one here.
See one in area 4. It's that one.
It's that one in the corner by the fast travel.
Hey, Biff.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll just go back to that naturally, won't you? Yeah.
I think. Oh, maybe. Oh, I'm gonna be going back to the surface.
For the yeah.
Oh, I should have done that already. I forgot. Because it's such an out of the way spot, it is not required at any point.
The cat's name is not Genesis.
What
Her
is
name
the
is
cat's
Penny.
name?
Her name is Penny. We have another fatter cat around here named Mama, but she's being antisocial.
Oh, get her out! I gotta see fuzzy cats, man.
My roommate's cat is named Chloe. She's super cute.
Aw.
I'll
I
post
think
some
I heard
pictures
it
of them in
earlier.
Discord.
She's actually super quiet. I very rarely hear her meow.
My wife and I have 2 cats. One is the mama, the other is the daughter, and the daughter is was the runt, and they're Maine Coons, and they're annoying, but I love them.
Aw.
Really? Me and my roommate are planning to get another cat soon. We're hoping to get a Maine Coon.
They can't cat at all, man. Like, they're the cats that they'll poop and then scrape the ball.
They'll poo and then scrape the bong.
There's a problem.
Are you allowing animals to clean smoking apparatuses? Is that what I'm understanding?
I'm allowing my animals to hit smoking apparatus. I couldn't get through it.
I
What a
think they
public
figured
chat.
out why they're not very good at catting.
Well, my wife got pissed last time I got them stoned, but they were bad at catting before I got here, so.
Oh, God.
Dude.
Don't get your cat stoned.
Oh, there's a
On the
secret here.
table here.
Well,
Yeah.
let me rephrase.
We are public. I just want to point that out.
It was more of
people in that
a
chat.
guilt by proximity, so much as, you know,
Ah.
oh, you're in the room with
Okay.
me? It's not my fault.
So are we getting Druid in here?
I'm not
should.
seeing him anywhere.
Aw.
He's not shouting out. It says he's online, but maybe he's just AFK.
I think, yeah, he's probably
He
busy.
said lol in the Twitch chat. And that's.
Oh, there he is.
He said he's shopping for a new computer.
Good.
Very good.
Maybe him and Nantiska can do a race.
Oh, that'd
I
be
would,
dope.
I would watch that.
That would be certainly awesome.
And now this is my favorite part of the game.
I love those freaking flapjack enemies so much.
Oh man, a megaton? Not quite, right?
Oh, sure. They have such weird ass names. Hey, I remember this place.
Yeah.
It's
I
gross.
love this area.
Oh, Power Rangers. Oh, that's later.
That's
Okay.
later. Well, no, that's next.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Ooh, I need to fix some stuff here because I'm not a speedrunner, so I need to do stuff for aesthetic effect. What happened?
I might have accidentally exited out of.
Did you close Twitch?
Yes.
You closed
but
Twitch?
I will get back
Really?
to it.
Well, you're gonna have to read off the monitor now.
I'm in there on
Cheryl.
my phone, so if anyone asks a question, I could field it for a moment.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead and do that, cause.
Yeah, let's get some more questions answered.
So
No.
Okay, how about somebody whose microphone isn't cutting
Cut
out?
out. I'm sorry, man.
what? Oh, damn it!
Oh, I love this area. I love it so
Well, I
much.
had one written down.
It's really gorgeous.
What is
it's-
each member of the team's least favorite boss in AM2R?
Oh.
I answered that when I saw it. It's Arachnus. Not in time.
He's not my least favorite, but he's definitely not my favorite.
Well, what's the list? We got the Chozo Guardian, Arachnus, the two mechs, Genesis.
I have
Well-
a soft spot in my heart for all the bosses. It's hard to make an
Yeah.
honest decision.
Yeah,
Don't
they're
make
really
me
good.
pick my least favorite child. The hell?
I will be the one with the balls here and say it's Ceres. Ceres
Yeah.
is a little bit incomplete. You know, it could be.
He's not finished.
He could be a little bit more challenging. You know, by the
Yeah.
time the player gets there, it's very powerful. Everyone is fairly skillful, and it wasn't properly tested. It was rushed, and.
Ooh, before I hit the door, I would like to talk about this area a little bit. So there's all these capsules in the background for where you fight Genesis at, and all of these capsules actually contain parts or whole enemies from the previous games or games that we've seen in the future. Actually, no, they're all from Fusion. But all these, it's so like this one here on the far right that's not broken. It is a part of Nightmare's arm from Metroid Fusion.
Okay.
Someone actually noticed that, recognized it, and pointed it out. And I thought that a lot of people would have a hard time making out just this blob that's sitting in there.
That's
That
annoyingly
one-
impressive.
Now you know how I feel with the whole all your base thing.
Yeah. And then there's the one in the middle. I forget what it's called. It's those water enemies in area, what was it, 4? In the lower
Yeah.
areas.
If
They're
you-
red and they got the yellow bellies.
Oh,
called.
Dragon? Or they...
They look like Dragon, but they have a different name.
Little mini dragons.
Everest, or something
Evers,
like that.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Evers.
some shit like that.
And then the one on the far left, that was the brain inside of the BOX robot, the security drone.
Yeah, I think I may have guessed at that, but I didn't want to ask. I like the
You s-
mystery.
Was when you finally defeat it for the second time, that brain rises up and turns into a Core X.
Right.
And I had a lot of fun doing this area, especially this boss.
Dude, you nailed the toilet stuff for real.
Oh jeez, I nailed the what now?
He's saying
The
this area
internal
in
design
general.
of the toilet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love how tiny he is. He's so cute.
Are you going to show off the outside designs?
Definitely, because there's a lot of parts that people don't see.
Yeah, homeboy that did the statues also did the outside stuff, and whoa, holy crap, man!
Yeah, he did a good job. He busted that out real quick.
Like I have no skill when I look at this guy's shit. I'm like, I feel so amateur,
It's inspirational and discouraging all at the same time.
right?
After you
Pete is Cuba. What was his name?
Who did the music in this area?
That would be Doc.
Let me go.
Yep.
I think
It's
Doc.
a good
actually,
game too.
Doc did
This
all
was
the music
supposed
in
to
this
be-
game, except for a couple small
No,
areas.
Falco did.
I said except he did.
Oh,
He
yeah.
helped. He helped come up with the theme for Area 5.
Right, yeah.
This
And
is
his,
pretty much an attempt to make a rendition to the GFS Valhalla song. The main melody is pretty much the same, but the overall ambience is a little bit more unique. It's not as orchestral as it is in Prime 3. It's a little bit more subdued and simplified, just for time constraints. Yeah, that's pretty much. And the Genesis fight is just a variation of that scene.
Are we gonna talk about the giant penis in the background on the far western or eastern side of the map?
Do not knock the dick ship.
There's a dick ship?
There,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that ship looks like
I
a dick.
modeled it after
Apparently,
the side view angle with the wings.
the Federation engineers are trying to compensate.
Are you
No.
trying to say my ship is?
Obviously,
valid.
it's a reference to H.R. Geiger.
Yes.
No, look up the
Yeah.
Look up and the mic cuts out.
Yep.
No, just don't
If you tell me to look on top
of
of the ship, I'm already doing it, man.
No. Get on the Metroid wiki and look at the GFS the TYR from Echoes. The ship
I mean,
all the guys were brought to Aether and they died.
It's a very
blame
manly
Retro for
ship.
that one, is what you're saying?
Dicks with ears first. I just copied it.
General Ridley asks, what is each of your favorite log entries?
Let's go one at a time for this one.
There's a lot of them.
Omega Metroid.
I really liked the Queen. I like the whole idea that it was like it's inhabited this laboratory, and it's grown over years, so it's like hundreds of years old, if I recall.
Right.
I really enjoy the ones that interconnect the areas. For example, the one that's from the nuclear reactor, that you get water from pipes from the hydro station.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Those kind of things kind of build the world into one whole thing that makes sense. And I think it's those kind of things, those kind of logs are the most interesting. They might not be the most useful for the player or the most informative on stuff, but I think it contributes to the overall design of the places.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, James's fan flag flies super high with his logbook entries.
Yeah. I think my favorite is probably Genesis, just because that little guy was my baby. He was my favorite sprite, probably, or my favorite actual enemy that I worked on.
I kind of
so
wish that the
precious.
Planetoid was actually in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's my favorite piece for this game, but it's never in the game.
That
we
was for the
should have
soundtrack.
made it like the game over screen or something.
Just found the sprite artist we were looking for.
Oh yeah.
His name is Kirill Fevralev.
Kirill, right? Yeah, like Dragon Quest IV. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, and his username, I believe, was 1NE1 or
Yes,
something weird
exactly.
like
Yeah.
that. It was
Different. I cannot paste links on the Twitch chat, right?
Yeah, just give
you
them
might
to
be
her.
able to since you're a moderator. I'm not sure though.
Oh,
I couldn't
you
link
got
the
it.
poem earlier, but that's me. I'm a scrub.
so that's the event
But
out
you
of
need
this
to link the poem,
artist.
direct message it to me or Doc or...
It went through.
Nice.
Are there any other questions? I do like answering questions.
What
It
was
is
your
fun.
first Metroid game, and what was the first Metroid game that made you love the series?
For me, it was Metroid 2 and also Metroid 2 specifically.
Really?
Let's see.
For me, it was
And Metroid 2 though, but
I remember trying out Super Metroid, didn't like it. Then I did try out Fusion, I completed it, I did like it. And then Zero Mission, Super Metroid, fell in love with Super Metroid there. And then just the rest.
For me, it's definitely Super Metroid. I can talk a lot about how much I love Metroid, and about half of that would be how much I love Super Metroid specifically. Like, it's my all-time favorite game. And I remember the second one I played was the original Metroid, which was just like, why is this not Super Metroid? It's so, like, lame.
The first time I did approach Super Metroid was I was expecting some sci-fi action game, and I felt it so slow and clunky. I didn't like it. So
First Metroid has some design issues. Zero Mission's existence is a blessing, simply because of how many issues the an otherwise great game had.
I still like Super Metroid more than Zero Mission, even though I feel like that's almost a minority opinion by this point.
No, well, I give Zero Mission the edge because it was GBA, and I'm more of a portable person, but that's also complete bias.
Yeah.
But they're both phenomenal.
I really love having Super Metroid on my N3DS now.
Achieve Super Metroid status. You know what I mean? Like, I wish Zero Mission. I think it deserves Super Metroid relevance.
I think it's because like the things that make Super Metroid good are not things that are actually in Zero Mission. Like the visual storytelling, the music is a lot better in Super Metroid. Like little things like that are what like really push it over the edge for me. I'm not gonna like gush too much about Super Metroid right now because I could just go on for hours about how much I love that game.
I believe you.
But yeah, it was really cool to like work on the prequel for it, basically.
Yeah. Steve, did you answer?
No, I didn't. I was waiting for you guys.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize to me. I'm polite.
He's playing.
I'm playing,
I
man.
want to see Rangers in action.
So my favorite, my first Metroid technically was Metroid 2, but I only played it for maybe 15 minutes before I put it down and gave the Game Boy back. But after that, like some years after, my very first Metroid was Metroid Fusion, and I actually got Metroid Fusion and Metroid Prime on the same day.
They came out the same day.
I got it for a Christmas present last year.
2001, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one I played was Fusion, so I wasn't going back and forth between the two, and I really enjoyed it. And it was at that point in time was one of the hardest games I had played, except for The Lion King, because that game is bullshit.
Of all the great.
Yeah, no, I tried playing that again recently, and I remember this game is still garbage. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
But the one that really got me into it... Yeah. But the Metroid game that actually really got me into the series, even though it's not my favorite by any means, was Metroid Prime. And don't get me wrong, I love Prime, but I'm a bigger fan of the side-scrolling games. They play different. It's a different style of game that I appreciate more. And yeah, we're gonna watch those Power Rangers get murdered real quick.
Yeah, I love this.
Yay! I like how one of my nicknames actually stuck.
I forget.
I have all these dumbass nicknames, and that's the only one that caught me. But I'll take it.
That one.
Did the Omegas block shots? I can't remember.
Only one way to find out.
Oh, I almost got him.
I do remember talking about this whole idea to Jack and say, just can this be done? Is this way too complex? Can we make a couple of frames of soldiers in this limited time? And he did an awesome job.
I thought it was hilarious, especially because like Federation Force was coming out in a few days.
Yeah, I think if anything offended Nintendo, that was it.
That was the final straw for that.
Dude, they gave me no choice, okay?
Yeah,
This is Destiny. Doc saw, hey, Steve made these soldier sprites, and I want 4 of them to die against them.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe if they were all blue, we would be already playing AM2R on the Switch. Who knows?
Fucking
That
So we know who to blame now.
That would be cool, but I don't think that Game Maker is going to get ported to the Switch anytime soon.
You know what? I will take the heat because this joke is my favorite bit that I got to do. Is that I got to shred Federation Force an even more gaping butthole than it already was.
I heard it wasn't very good. I saw the final boss fight, and I decided, you know what? I've bought every game. I've played every game front to finish. I even played and beat Other End, dealt with the story, and enjoyed the gameplay for what it was. But I'm not getting Federation Force. I am
Federation Force.
I am voting with my wallet on this one. You can't.
There's
you
no.
can't treat
You
your
don't even
fans
have
like
to
that.
start to justify. They know what they did. You know, where's the Catholic ruler to slap them on the wrist? You know what you did.
You know what? They could have made the last fight like fantastic if it was like a proper scale Samus who's like, you know, like half your size and just like wrecking your face. That would have been fantastic. But no, they had to make it stupid.
Did you guys see? I think it was GameSpot or Game Informer that did an interview with Miyamoto and Aonuma.
Game Informer, I saw it. Yeah.
And they had the cups and they were doing a little the cup shuffle. I forget what it's called. And underneath the cup was a little note that said 2D Metroid, please.
Yeah, that's Ben Reeves. He's a genius.
I can't help but wonder if he knew about AM2R, and that might have been any kind of reference. I highly doubt it. I'm not.
I think if it was, he wouldn't say so.
Yeah, he's got to be professional, and you have to have a professional opinion.
Yeah,
I get it. But I also have a lot of respect for the professionals who came out and voiced their opinion.
Right.
Doc, do you think Nintendo would actually remake the second Metroid themselves? And if they do, how would you react after spending so much time with your team on AM2R?
Well, my first motivation to do this is wanting to play Metroid 2 properly. If Nintendo was going to be doing that in the near future, which I was expecting at some point,
it will have 4-player co-op. Don't worry.
Nowadays, that doesn't sound.
Supposedly, Metroid Prime started as a Metroid 2 remake.
At one point, they were explaining.
Yeah, I heard that.
I would love a Prime version of Metroid 2. Imagine taking that and putting it in 3D. That story.
That would have been so cool.
I agree.
You want to put this in your mouth? Thank you.
No, I agree.
But I would certainly play it if it goes
definitely.
at some point.
I just want more 2D Metroid. Is that too much to ask?
Well, Axiom Verge.
I had a very small, brief conversation with Tom Happ, and he's very nice.
Really?
Yeah.
He seems down to earth.
It was only like, you know, a 1 or 2 sentence conversation, but it was there.
That's
I'm proud of it.
That's 2 more sentences than I got.
And was part of the conversation he saying, please stop spamming me with emails, thank you?
No, I was asking him, I asked him what form of Axiom Verge I should purchase so that he gets the most revenue from it.
Ah, yes.
And he asked that I instead donate.
Nice question.
Yeah. Well, he said that you know, he's making more than enough off of it to get the bills paid and then some. But he suggested instead that I donate to I forget what it was, but it was essentially a foundation for supporting sick kids and
Sick Kids Foundation?
I believe
Special
so. Yes.
effect? Oh.
But so yeah, that was nice, and he's a stand-up guy, and I got a lot of respect for him.
I feel bad now. I've bought Guacamelee like 4 times, and I feel really silly about that.
Wow, it's a great game.
It's a good game.
I just like.
It's
I love it so
Metroid
much.
Adore.
It's so good.
is good.
Metroid. Like, come on. With completely self-involved humor, like we need more of that.
It's very referential humor, which like playing it a few years later, it's not quite as good as it was before, but like the gameplay and all that is really solid. The soundtrack is fantastic.
Hey, what's up with Indivisible? Do we know where that's at?
What is
I
that?
am so hyped for that game.
Skullgirls making Valkyrie Profile.
I
And
don't know what that
Shovel
is
Knight's
either.
in it.
Which is
What?
the artist of Skullgirls. His name is Alex Ahad. He actually does a ton of Samus fan art. Like he really loves Samus. And so Indivisible is like heavily inspired by Super Metroid in particular. And
Oh,
it's really
is
cool.
that the one where it's a Metroidvania, but when you get hit by an enemy, it turns into an RPG?
Yeah, that
You
one.
whack them with an axe, and yeah, Shovel Knight's in it. So
Ooh, awesome.
Interesting. Shovel Knight's
looks
in
really
everything. Do you gotta
Yeah,
ask
Shovel Knight is a
permission?
really great game too.
Do you have to ask permission to put him in your stuff?
I
imagine
don't
you
even
do.
think, I think Yacht Club's like fucking free range, man. Just do whatever you. Oh, you like our characters? Sweet.
Just touring them out.
Ooh, I need to hit a save station and refill. I'm not gonna
You're
cheat
in
for this one.
you're in that area that has one, right? It's like right bottom right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Omega Nest has the merciful. The mercy set.
While we're going to the save station, and we have a little bit of a segue, Cheryl, are there any more questions that people would like to ask?
Yeah. This is probably a little premature, but do you
Do it.
have any plans for the 1-year anniversary of AM2R? Or is it bittersweet to celebrate it?
I was actually thinking of finishing the 3 endings for it.
Wing combos.
Pull that off by August, right?
You know,
Yeah.
the anniversary itself, there is something to celebrate. It was a release. We were able to finish the game, and that's awesome. Whatever happened a couple of days later and 1 month later was something that was going to be happening anyway. But
Right.
Actually, lying if
releasing
we
it-
said it wasn't going to happen.
releasing a game is quite an achievement, and it's quite a milestone for pretty much anybody. And I think we should celebrate somehow.
It's
What do you
definitely
think?
really
What do you guys
awesome that like we got to release it. Like Nintendo was aware of it, obviously, but they still let us like put it out.
But even if we take out the Nintendo part, all the legal stuff, actually finishing a game without being professional developers is it's quite an endeavor, you know?
Yeah.
We are all professionals
Yeah.
in different things, and having this hobby take shape into a finished product is it's something that you don't see every day happening. So I believe that is worthy of celebrating. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll buy a cake for that and eat it myself. 'Cause I'm doing it for you guys.
You can go up to them and have a picture of the Planetoid and say, "Make this into a cake."
I'll mail you all cake.
I might do that.
Just mail cake all over the world.
Question for everyone.
Mhm.
A little while after AM2R first came out, someone managed to make a custom soundtrack with songs from a lot of other games, not Metroid games.
Huh.
Can you do me a favor and actually guess the song that was assigned to the Queen fight?
Are you the person that did it?
I don't
Because
know.
it sure sounds like it.
I thought it was
said
like a weird
Queen
piece of
by
trivia,
Queen.
like...
I'm not familiar with that one.
Can you
Is it
guess
from Sonic? Because that's the only thing I care about.
I just said Killer,
Killer
Queen to
Queen.
be a dick.
Yeah, I know, that's why I read it, because I like the answer. I'm hoping it's right.
That'll ride with a laser beam. Guaranteed to blow your mind.
That
If,
is a fantastic song.
Anytime.
I will give somebody a giant Twitter shout out if they do synthwave remixes of all the Metroid songs used in AM2R and replace the soundtrack with it. I will
play
give
that.
you a huge shout out. I will play that. I will
Well,
stream
the-
it.
That's fantastic.
Whatever.
The tower song would sound pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this this nice little quiet area.
Yeah.
I wish we actually.
It's
I wish we could have
Converse
turned
or-
off the music for this area.
Yes.
So as soon as you walked into the area with all the purple and blue glowing rocks and waterfalls,
Giga
there was
Man,
no
I
music in the
give up. So.
background. Mega Man's doing what?
Oh, the guy in the chat is named Giga Man Prime, and they asked if we give up. I'm like, I give up. I want to know.
Yeah, I give up. I wouldn't even... I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I had no idea.
What?
To be
what
fair,
song
though,
even
I
has
also-
a Queen name.
Is it? Oh wait, is it an artist named Queen? Because that would make sense. Was that song "I Having a Good Time"? I'd like to hear
Oh.
that.
I missed up
during the
there.
Queen fight.
That would be fun.
Did y'all catch that the Alolan Executor thing from that? Oh my god, I still laugh at that months later.
Is it Don't Stop Me Now? That is?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Awesome song.
I just want to point out, this is happening, guys. We're about to beat this game.
Hey!
Huzzah.
Started from the bottom. Now we're literally here.
Do you
Wait,
know
question.
how long it's been?
Oh, yeah, how long has it been?
It has been 2 hours and 39 minutes. It's about what I expected.
Yeah, that's par for me too. I think 100%ing. Not too serious, but still
I'm
kind
not-
of skillful.
I don't even have
ending
100%.
2? Can you
I'm
wait like
probably-
2 hours so we get ending 1?
I'm not fast enough to get ending 1,
I just told you about this. You either need to be really quick.
or really take my time, but I wanna take some time to appreciate this background.
Ridley asked about it.
Oh, it's
yeah,
gorgeous.
you wanted to ask about this.
Yes, please.
Well, he wants you to talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't do this one.
That's Kirill.
I wanted. Yeah, this is Kirill. I wanted to go in and touch it up in a few spots, like specifically the water down in the basin. But that was really it. And this whole section is just gorgeous, and it does not get the recognition it deserves.
It is. It's so Shadowgatey to me, and I appreciate that.
It's
Isn't
so
it?
pretty.
One thing that Kirill does really well is work with a very limited color palette. And,
Right.
He makes wonderful things with just 3 or 4 colors, and he doesn't overdo the dithering. You know, he uses very straight lines into his shading work, and that's something really tricky to make it look right and convincing. And he
True.
seems to be very proficient in that. It kind of clashes with the rest of the artwork, but it's just this particular place where that happens.
Dude, when I first saw that, like, I completely forgot that I worked on the game. I was like, this is like the culmination of what Metroid 2 could be, and I had no part in it. It's that good.
I was actually really glad that like all the stuff I did was not like the game itself, because like all of this stuff is really novel for me.
Oh, you knocked it out of the park, man.
Well, I mean, for like all the stuff I did, like I saw the ending, like very ending art. I had never seen like most of the game, so like all of this stuff I got to play as a fan instead of just like someone who worked on it.
It's kind of nice
Right.
to remove that that developer
Yeah,
mindset from it.
Right. Quit shooting my Metroids!
No.
kill
Yeah,
them,
okay.
kill them dead.
Yeah, kill them all, kill the animals, whatever. You know, these were actually really easy to do. Because I had like 9 million bases to work off of, and I just used all of them.
The design is pretty awesome, and I do remember having to do very little work with the transparency and the membrane, but the rest was pretty awesome. The only thing that I did tweak a little bit was the inner thingy, pretty much the
Yeah.
red meat. They have those 3 red eyes. I need to separate them into a separate object. They actually do pulsate very briefly. It's a very subtle effect. They move so much and they are dispatched so quickly that you pretty much don't realize there's a subtle animation going on there with the
It's
eyes.
the
Right.
little things that count.
It did a lot for it, I think.
Here we go.
I love this fight. This is my favorite part of the game.
Go time!
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm probably going to need it.
Don't screw up.
No promises.
No pressure.
I think it took
Oh,
me
man.
3 tries to beat her.
Worst case scenario, just enable God mode and that's it.
Oh, she drops way
Gee,
more stuff.
You got one of those. You already used it.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're working off of this, or you're going off a test version, aren't you?
Yeah,
Or at
we're
least
playing
it's
the 1.2 version that we planned on
Yeah.
releasing, and
Can
we're
you-
able to.
Can you trigger to give you ending 3 instead of ending 1? Or ending 2?
I didn't make any tools for that.
Aww.
So I used to just hard reset data and trigger the end anyway.
There's like 4 debug views, but fuck that shit.
They're very useful for when you're actually doing the code.
Oh, they are, yeah, absolutely.
Or when you need to
Yeah,
take a
there's
look at the
way
hitboxes.
too many
The
tools for
hitboxes,
many things.
yeah.
So,
we probably
this fight might be a little bit different than some people remember.
Maybe later.
I tested the queen fight before, and my concern was that one shot in these hallways moves it on to the next section.
Oh, so you're just gonna blaze through it like that?
Yeah.
Eh.
I don't think it was intentional. I'm gonna let her attack me a little bit.
For the record, the loogie projectiles were like stupidly simple. I literally just colored the Game Boy sprites. Not gonna lie.
this fight is so much better than the Game Boy version, though.
Yes,
Yeah, everything about it.
it's very likely that I was actually working on the queen and I forgot to reset the health to its proper value.
I think,
Yes.
yeah.
She may have 1 HP in this section. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That's funny.
Getting hit by this thing does a good bit of damage. Not quite a whole energy tank. I'll let her get in a couple hits here, so she can do her new attack that people didn't get to see.
You know, the very first thing Doc actually actively asked me to do were the struggling frames for when she's in the jaws.
I do
And I'm
remember that,
like-
yeah.
I'm like, that's the first thing I'm doing is the struggling
Wow.
animation.
Yes, that was a thing back then, way too many years ago.
Yeah. Wow, huh? How many? 5, 6? God.
It was
First thing I
supposed
did was the
to.
album art.
I know I was originally supposed to do that, but he ended up having me work on something else that needed attention. I forget what it was though. It wasn't. Was it the bridge, or it was just after?
You were doing the entire Samus repertoire though, so if you took a break at that point,
Oh
then...
my gosh.
But
Yeah.
you remember when you push it up to 60 FPS though?
I wish I finished it. If that had made it into the game, that would have been nice.
You were doing a lot of goddamn work on every frame though.
I was doing a lot of work on everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's never a point in the game where you're not seeing my artwork on the screen.
Right. True.
I can say that because I also did the heads-up display.
Again,
Alright, we're gonna give you guys the best ending.
good.
This one's my favorite. Yep, it's cool. Did I beat it? Did I beat the game?
Druid, wow, rip low percent.
Yeah, I'm not a speedrunner. I don't challenge myself like that. I had a hard enough time doing this on medium or normal difficulties. Man, I'm gonna say speedrunners know a controller makes the difference.
This has got to be incredibly frustrating to watch as a speedrunner. Just do the thing!
Druid's probably having a stroke like the whole time. Slow motion.
I can already see the face palming from his speedrunning
Vein on
community.
his forehead has
Oh,
a funny
yes.
zip code.
Your favorite theme in the whole song? What's your favorite, or
In the whole
game?
series?
Yeah, what's
Tower,
your favorite song?
definitely Tower.
Oh, are we talking about the whole game itself or the whole series?
This whole game.
The whole
Area
game?
4.
Music game.
Hydro Station.
Hydro Station
Station.
and Tower are like pretty close for me.
Hydro Station is certainly my favorite, and the tower takes a close second. Actually, no, I can't say that. Area 5 takes my second, and the tower is the third.
Area 5 is dope.
I love Area 5 so
Area,
much.
Area 4 though, Tower, honestly, like, I don't dance, I just pull up my pants, but that shit gets me jiving.
I got that reference.
I'll do the rock one.
I know this section up here that's coming up, I know speedrunners absolutely hate it, because the Metroid is kind of RNG when it's eating all the stuff around you.
That Metroid eats really fast though, like... I
Yeah,
think
but
that
there's
makes it-
one particular spot here, it'll get stuck on one block, and it'll just circle it for a little while.
Yeah, I think I know which one.
Yeah, that's
So
still never
was
went
the-
away.
Was the hatchling having 1 pixel-sized eyes the cutest thing in the world, or what?
Yep.
It's adorable.
Certainly.
That was literally I was like, man, I'm getting away with murder. I only need to put 3 damn pixels in each frame, and it's the cutest thing.
It was so hard to paint it and make it look really cute for the endings.
Ah, you nailed it.
Thanks. I think I did like maybe 2 or 3 iterations of it. It was such a struggle to actually make it work.
I absolutely love this whole night scene. This is my favorite part of the game.
This sequence needed all of these special touches, though, because it's very different from most other Metroids end on that like countdown, but this one's got that peaceful walk, so
It's
yeah,
so nice.
it needed all of this atmosphere, and yeah.
It's my favorite ending 1, where she's like running through the fields. It was just such a joy to make it.
The bioluminescent plants do help a lot on making the whole scene special.
Yeah,
Definitely. That was my idea too. I'm gonna take credit for that.
you should. I take like maximum credit for every little dumb thing I did, man.
Hey, I made the planet. The planet's mine. I take credit for that.
Now let's mention each and every name except Sarah.
Milton Glasty, Ramiro Negri, Steve Roethlisberger, Jack Whitty, Krill, Phil, I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. Jasper, Michael Gabriel R, Azima Khan, James Hobbs, Paulo Villalobos,
You're missing people.
Martin Fiat, no, I'm not.
Remember this.
Milton Glasty, Darren Kerwin, Torbjorn, Hemsey, Dragon Dark, Esteban Criado, Verneri, Jennifer Potter, I can't read all this.
You know about Criado, but not Brundle?
It's so hard to pronounce when I'm trying to read them fast, and now read it yourself.
No,
I did my best.
I expect you to read them all.
I tried.
on.
I'm not
Shoutouts.
reading all that though. I'm
Seven's
not.
on.
Yes,
Good dude.
that is Fire Emerald. That is the Xbox One controller with white and gold.
Yes, it is.
Shout out
They
to
don't make those
Capcom.
anymore.
We got flagship.
Yeah, we got a lot of attention when this came out. Way more than I thought we would.
Metroid
Agreed.
30th says, I just want to say we are so fortunate that this game exists, and it really just goes to show how special the Metroid community is. I will always support it and projects like this.
Aw.
Hey,
Oh, thanks, Darren.
I'm just saying, if the opportunity ever arose, and Nintendo decided that this game would be worth giving to people, as far as I'm concerned, I would have no problem with giving them everything I made and not
Same.
you
taking.
gotta put the
any-
sound on right now.
I just want my name on it.
I do it for free. Yeah.
I do it for free. I don't. Need any
We already
royalties.
did it for free. Let's just
Food and board?
do it again
Yeah,
for
food and
free.
board.
I'm very happy with it.
Oh, that art though of Samus in the last suit is probably like the best of the. I don't.
I like it.
I really struggled with this one. I'm much happier with the other two.
The last Metroid is.
Yeah, I had so many like versions of this. Like she was doing the thumbs up at first. She was like sitting down at her like computer console and just
Can I be
like
totally honest with you?
go for it.
I appreciate you not doing the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason I didn't do it. It looked really silly, so I didn't keep it.
I like the offhanded wave that she gives at the end of Metroid Prime 2.
I have to
I think
ask the
that
main
captured her
burning
attitude
question, though.
perfect.
We should probably provide an answer because I don't even know the answer. But why didn't we do the Samus running towards the screen shit like in the original?
Time
And-
constraints.
That was
looked
it?
a little bit weird, actually. I think there was a user in the forums that did that with the original frames. He colored the gamer frames, and it looked so strange.
Yeah,
Really?
So it would have required rendering of a 3D model, running towards the camera, then rotoscope each frame to actually make it look decent, and that might have taken a little bit of time.
That's just a whole lot of work, yeah.
I mean, I don't think we need it because like we have like the item percentage screen, and then we have the ending screen, and then we have the voice clip. Like that's like a 3-pronged ending right there already.
Yeah, and the credits
voice at the end
scroll a
again?
lot faster, yeah.
Who was it that did the voice at the end
Yeah.
again?
That
was her
would be Isabel Amponin. She goes by the nickname of Streichi in YouTube.
String
If you
cheese?
only- I can actually send you a link to her channel if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, let's send
Okay.
everyone. Well, not send everyone, but
Isabella something.
let's give her some views. She certainly deserved it. She didn't get enough recognition.
No, it's too hard. Damn it, Drew.
Oh hey, you could just go to the gallery to show all the endings. May as well.
You should.
Yeah.
Is there a dev Is there a dev thing to unlock all the gallery images?
I'm really not sure. I can't remember. I think if I needed to see the gallery, I edited the gallery object itself.
Are they classified
But-
as rooms?
It's
Oh.
a room controller that determines which images you get to see or not. No, I did just that really quick. It worked, and that's it. We didn't make any tools for that. I'm pasting on the Twitch chat the YouTube profile of the awesome actress that makes the Samus voice.
Yeah.
She's insanely talented, and she was kind enough to lend us time.
Super last minute, by the way.
Yeah, as always.
Kira was super last minute too, and look all the shit he did.
Yeah, jeez.
he did something that took me months to fail at in like 3 days.
Well, you did most of the work for him.
Okay.
I loosened it.
Poor Steve. I'm all like, Steve, can you do one of these statues? And he's like, I got 9 million things, son.
To be fair, I did have about 9 million things to do.
You did.
I had a lot on my plate.
Oh, you only have one ending.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a way to unlock all the endings with the push of a button.
I can give you the link and you can just like put them all there.
Yeah, do that.
Especially because those are like the high-res versions. Anyway.
Throw them to my wife in Discord and she'll put them in the Switch chat.
Yeah, because
That's what I'm doing.
The last true Metroid game. I'll take it.
So that's AM2R.
Yeah, that's a video game.
Are there? Let's use this opportunity to talk about, or to maybe even ask and answer some more questions that you guys might have for the developers.
Final chance.
You have all of our collective attention.
We got to give 14 seconds buffer.
yeah. Well, General Ridley, to Doc, how did you feel about Latin Lingo's extra ending?
Oh, that one.
Which one was that?
The ending he discussed with those